Last time, on Asmiliath adventures, Kododo lays dead on the ground as Decker and Valorant stand over his writhing corpse. Slowly, the gray leg that is understood to belong to the Dark Prince begins sucking the life from the defeated kobold warrior. As a harsh thumping of blood begins to fill the dim chamber, the spastic movements of the corpse begin to grow more and more violent. Fearing what this display might bring, Decker and Valorant dive away from a harsh explosion, the dried corpse releasing a thick, toxic cloud of mist into the cramped mine. Causing the remnants of the warband to flee, Thor watches in relief as the violent creatures around him scurry to safety. Intent on not leaving without the leg, Valorant dives back into the poison to retrieve the sought-after relic, securing it in an old burlap sack. Decker, with somewhat similar intentions, darts over to the collected treasure of the dead chieftain, acquiring weapons, gold, and jewels. Jarek, who literally couldn't help himself from also potentially dying of poison, rushes towards the treasure as well, securing a seemingly mundane ball of metal that will certainly be worth the trouble. As our heroes finally make their escape from the spreading threat, with an unconscious Hypatia slung over Thor's shoulder, they are stopped by a familiar voice. The calm figure of Novin addresses them, making it clear that if they didn't hand over the leg, that he would drag one of the party to an early grave. With a tension-filled discussion quickly taking place, the party and Novin finally agree on escaping for now and discussing a compromise later. In a strange twist of fate, our heroes climb their way out of the deadly mine, descend back down the mountain, and find themselves in their temporary camp with the Yellow-Eyed Man. As night begins to settle, a rather open conversation takes place. The party learns about Novin's actual heritage, his initial meeting with Toradan, and the reason he fights for his return, and what he was willing to sacrifice to see it through. Begrudgingly, the Golden Hearts agree to hand over the leg of the Dark Prince, with the understanding that Novin would leave them be. Seeming to be rather surprised with this decision, Novin accepts the deal and fades into the night with a piece of his master. It is the night of December 18th. Our heroes are now collected by their horses in the twisted forests of Aether. The air is a biting chill. The darkness is filled with distant cries of creatures, violence, and wilderness. Our party find themselves standing around a still bound Hypatia, her recent statements still rolling around in each companion's mind. As seconds tick by, all of our heroes ask themselves the same question, as Hypatia awaits her fate. So, Golden Hearts, you would be, I guess, more or less stood around Hypatia, unless you were doing other things, discussing what to do with her.
Thor would be pacing back and forth, not really standing around.
You are muted, sir.
Caspian looks at Hypatia. Well, dear, it seems you've really landed yourself in a pickle now.
I've been in worse.
All right. Okay. Can I just, talk to her? Just like me and her. Her and I.
I don't think anyone's stopping you.
Okay.
Oh, one moment.
What?
Because I did think to bring them. I'm gonna take my 2 manacle sets off of my horse and put them on her wrists and ankles, in addition to the rope.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then step away, so that they can speak alone, but dangling the keys.
Okay.
Suppose I don't really have a problem with it, but why would you need privacy with her? The rest.
I don't know. Maybe she'll be more honest with me, because, what does she have to lose at this point?
Her life.
Yeah. True. Oh. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I just feel like I need to be alone alone with her to make this decision. Because I don't need, like, outside people being like, kill her, don't kill her, maybe not kill her.
Jarek and Caspian walk away.
All right.
So, Thor is still okay. Is she like sitting down right now?
She's laid on her stomach, hogtied by rope, and now her wrists and ankles are shackled together.
Okay.
And there is a dingy sock laying about a foot from her mouth.
Yes, I remember the sock.
It has guilty written on one side of it.
Jeez. Can I go up to her, and now that she is shackled on her hands and feet with, like, I guess, handcuffs, I'd like to untie the rope.
Okay.
If I can. I don't know.
I imagine you could manage that, yes.
Okay, or I can cut through it. Just so she's like, I can sit her up.
Okay.
Rather than just have her lay on her
So
stomach.
she'd probably get in like a, I guess, cross-legged position, or I guess, sitting on her butt, hands behind her back kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Just hit her, set her down.
Okay.
I feel like that's a little more comfortable. You know, most people, I guess if you're going to die, you might as well be a little comfortable before you die, right?
Well, I hope if you were going to kill me, you wouldn't kill me laying in the dirt, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. How would you want to be killed?
In a warm bed of old age, some money laying around me, lots of wealth laying around me.
So you want somebody to kill you in your sleep while you're rich?
That seems a bit of a better way to go than out here in the wilderness by a large, strong man with a big sword.
Yeah, it does hurt me a little bit that you said I wasn't very attractive, but, you know, I won't take that to heart.
It's nothing
definitely doesn't
personal,
put
it's
you-
just mechanics.
Okay. Well, that goes in the negative category for me. You know, I'm not your favorite person, minus. Your Hypatia's sister,
I'm
Calliope's
sister.
Yeah. Minus. You betrayed us, minus.
I don't know if that is 100% accurate.
It sounds pretty accurate, considering the words that came out of your mouth about 6 seconds before I carved into your body.
That did hurt, by the way.
Yeah, I know, it was meant to. Kind of hurt me.
I think whatever hurt I caused you with the words was certainly dealt back to me, so I think it's only fair now.
Oh no, I think we're kind of even. Kind of. So your whole job was just to get us there and then have us die?
My job was to get the leg.
So to have us die. So you're gonna keep, like, okay, let's say that hypothetically I let you go right now. Where will you go?
Away from here.
Yeah, but where?
I would help the various tasks that I've been set upon.
Like what?
Well, I don't think it's a secret any longer that the work that I do for my employer is not yet finished.
So you would still help Novin?
Yes.
What if you don't help me?
I would certainly have to find a new employer.
I mean, are we really that bad of a company? Actually, well, JD does want to kill you. So kinda does Decker. Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of bad rumors going around about the Golden Hearts, so I wouldn't use your name as some bright banner.
Bad rumors? What do you mean bad rumors? What did we do?
They go to save a town, they all die. They go to a noble party, they all die. Not good optics.
Not everybody died in all of those scenarios. Technically.
They go to a funeral, more people die.
Okay, but whose fault was that? Huh?
I don't think it really matters whose fault it is. It more matters who they believe is at fault.
So you think they believe we're at fault?
I wouldn't say that. You did help save the day after all.
So what happens if I turn you into Clifford? You don't know who Clifford is, but what if I turn you into him / Duke Bronze people and tell them we found the person responsible for the attack?
I think they'd have a hard time proving that.
I don't.
What proof do you have?
Didn't you just say it like 5 minutes earlier?
That's just your word against mine.
No, it's your word against yours.
She just looks over at the rest of the party, kind of off in the distance, look back at you. Yes, you're right, Thor.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to do something. I don't really know how to do this, but I'm going to try something.
If this is your first time, you really should... A different scenario.
No, it's okay. I'm not really into the handcuffs. Give me 1 second.
As this is going on, Valor and Decker, are you doing anything specific?
Can we... I probably can't hear any of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk to Valoran. What do you suppose that old boy's talking to her about? You've been with him longer than I have.
I can imagine what it must sound like, but I can't tell you what the content must be. You'll come to understand.
He is rather unpredictable in his own simple way.
That is fair. That is fair to say.
At least he's not boring.
Okay, so I guess I would have my longsword on my lap. It is a longsword, right? Yeah. Great sword. Oh, nice. I know what that is. So I'd have my great sword.
Shard's Edge?
Yeah, Shard's
Okay,
Edge.
Gotcha.
And I would like to close my eyes with my hands on my sword.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of say, hey, I'm not sure. Hold on. Hypatia, I have a really quick question to ask somebody. Hello, Arovika? Are you there? Maybe not. I don't know. Valorant kind of showed me what praying is, and I'm not sure I understand it very well. But this is my attempt. Trying to decide whether or not to kill this person. And there's a lot of bad things that they've done and plan on doing. But I don't know if I can kill them or if I want to kill them. I'm weirdly on the fence for what I feel like is no reason.
Give me a wisdom check and then an insight check. Okay. So as you go through this process, Hypatia watching you with very curious eyes, almost a little bit amused as you get into it. Because I'm assuming you're saying this out loud, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So as again, it's a rather cold night, and even as a Goliath, you're rather used to this, but it really is beginning to kind of creep into your bones. As you call out into the sky, attempting to mimic what you imagine prayer to be, what Valorant might have described it as, you feel, or what you imagine you feel, this slight warmth on your fingertips that you're like, oh, is it coming from the blade? You kind of pick your hands up and you're like, you put your hands back down on it, like a little bit unsure if it's actually something or not, and that's probably the extent of what you would get.
Whoa. Did you feel that?
Oh, yes. Oh, it's chill. I think she passed right through
warm.
me.
It was warm. It was okay. Well, you didn't feel it. Weird.
Thorasius, can I recommend something?
Gosh, I don't know. Can you?
When was the last time that you were on the fence about murdering somebody?
Been quite a while. Usually it's pretty straight cut. Yeah, it had to be back. Man, that was a while ago.
So let me just say this. If you're usually that decisive about splitting somebody in two, and now for some reason you've been given pause, is that not enough to show you that there's something to keeping me alive?
No, because again, I can't think of anything good that you've done that would help us.
I did save you in that monastery.
Did you, though?
Yes.
Okay, but since then... Because I would argue that sparing your life was also a good thing. For the moment.
Mm-hmm. I've also now dedicated my life to helping pass on the souls of all of the fallen for the past 300 years. That seems rather noble, if you ask me.
But how can you know that that's true?
It is the scenario that makes the most sense to me, and with the biggest likelihood of being true. So I am throwing my weight behind it. And I don't do that haphazardly.
So, but why can't you throw your weight behind, like, our cause, you know? Like, why can't you just see the things that we've seen? You know, how is the destruction of... Like, how is killing people gonna prevent this, right? Because if you bring the guy back, he's just gonna kill everybody.
From my understanding, and I imagine most people's understanding in Asmiliath, your time in this realm is rather short compared to the eternity that your soul persists. So if this world has to end to help save everybody's souls, it seems like a fair trade.
But why is it only one god that's doing that?
I think that's how it works. I'm not a god
but wouldn't,
myself.
like... Yeah, don't you think gods talk to other gods and they're like, hey man, look at all these souls. We're missing 300 souls. I don't know. It's like 300 years worth of souls. Where are these souls? Somebody would have to figure that out.
That might be what's happening now.
He doesn't talk to anybody. Except for you people. Actually, he doesn't even talk to you, does he? Does he?
I'm telling you what I think or I believe. If you don't believe it, that's fine. It's just what I've come to believe.
Valoran walks up behind Thor, returns to the scene, and kind of puts his hand on Thor's arm. Has your conversation been enlightening?
Insightful.
Hey, he didn't ask you. Yes and no. I tried praying. It kind of worked.
Really?
Have you ever gotten warm tinglies in your hand?
Not from prayer.
Okay, then I may have a problem.
I'm not a holy man, Thor, but I'm sure that I've heard someone say that the gods work in mysterious ways. The way that you are communicated with may not be the way that anyone else is.
Well, I tried, and she gave me tingles. So she didn't say anything, so that's not helpful. I wish she would have just been like, kill her, or like, don't kill her, you know? That would have been easy.
What?
I think that we all want easy answers from the gods, but
May I interject? Yeah, I would have walked up.
I gotcha.
please do.
But, sorry. It seems as if we're still debating on whether or not she deserves to die.
I think I have come to a conclusion.
Well, since we haven't really discussed it as a group yet, my 2 coppers worth of merely that. If she merely wanted our death, there would have been ample opportunity for her to do that before we showed up there. That is in your benefit, my dear. However, you did clearly betray us and lead us in a situation where the odds were certainly in favor of us dying. We were lucky not to. And as I understand it, you would have no qualm doing the same thing to us again, should you leave.
I don't think it's anything new that you're, well, I guess the group you now affiliate with go into situations where the odds of you dying are rather high.
Yes,
This-
yes. However, these are usually straightforward endeavors, a fight and an outcome. My lady, you clearly betrayed us. Your own words.
It was a soft betrayal.
And this is a, well, perhaps it only warrants a soft death. This is not a kind word. And the consequences of your actions are almost always execution.
Well, I certainly am glad that you are not the one that promised not to kill me.
I don't make such promises. In my line of work, I try not to kill people, believe it or not. They typically are worth more alive. Why are you worth more alive to us? Because clearly you are still a threat to us if you leave.
I wouldn't agree that I'm a threat to you. I merely just want to go about my business, which hopefully has nothing to do with you in the future.
Yes, but how can we trust what you say is true?
Well, one of you did cast a spell on me which forces me to speak the truth. So that's certainly... But for what it's worth, what I am saying is the truth. And to prove it to you, I would love to kill Jarek, but it seems that might not go in my favor currently.
We're gonna leave that for someone else. I mean, somebody else is probably gonna do it at some point.
Hey, I'm right here, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Both during the influence of my command and otherwise, she's an admitted and mirthful co-conspirator of Novans who participated in the attack on Kraylin. And I think the only question here is whether she meets her fate here, now, or when the legal mills at Kraylin grind her into dust.
And you're no stranger to dismissing justice, Lord Valoran. If this was one of your subjects, what would the penalty for her actions be, given all the proof you have?
Execution.
It was a rhetorical question. My dear, you're not in a very good place right now.
Well, shall I point out that neither are you? And then she kind of looks around at the woods around you.
That is an opinion you're entitled to for the rest of your life.
It's okay. I've made my decision. So, Hypatia, given that you're not that old, I don't have a bed nearby, we do have some money. How would you like your execution to go?
When you put it that way, I think I'd rather just have it be a surprise.
Okay. Well, just give him... What?
Sorry. I was just going to ask if we text Seth if we think we would get an answer.
We kind of know where he's sitting, so we'll...
No, I'm saying like how he would do it.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, I have to be the executioner, right?
As far as Thor's
Okay.
concerned, I imagine, yeah.
Okay, hold on, give me a second. And I'll stand up and I'll walk behind her.
Wait, Thor. Even with the people that I've had to kill, usually like to give them the benefit of whatever time they need to come to their own... How do you put it? To come to terms with what's going to happen to them. She's clearly not going anywhere. How about we take a night? Do it with the light of the first light of the morning.
If we're going to do this, how about we take 5 minutes before she has a chance to slither free, or her sister can catch up with us.
Well, I don't know. The real question is, have you come to terms?
I've been ready to die since I was born, I imagine. Are you all prepared to carry the weight of what this might entail?
At present, we carry the weight of the fate of the known world. Your
Welcome
death
to the
is-
club.
Your death is punctuation in this page.
Yes, it's the opposing club. Really?
You're fighting to save the meager scraps of this world while I'm fighting to save our souls for eternity. Do you realize how that sounds?
I realize that's what you believe. And what does it really say about you that you believe that based on the word of Novan?
What does it say about you that you are so righteous about a cause you learned about 2 weeks ago?
Saving the world, yes. And whether I learned about it 2 weeks ago, or 2 years, or 20 years, it really makes no difference. It's rather absolute.
Well, if you're confident in your knowledge, then go forth with what you must do.
And this is where I think a night of reflection for all of us might be best. Nobody's going to rescue her tonight. More than likely. She's trussed up like a pig.
Oh no, I untied her. She's just sitting.
She's got manacles.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah. Well, true. I say if we, yeah, I mean we can take a night if you want to. If you feel like that's the best idea.
I feel like it. Whoever ends up doing whatever needs to be done, it would be better to have done it with a full night to think about it.
As fun as it sounds, sitting around for a few more hours of living.
This is really not about you, my dear.
And I'm trying to save your lives, Dekka, if you would just hold your words for just a moment. If we sit here tonight, I imagine we won't see the morning. Killing a rather powerful chieftain sometimes disrupts things.
Well, I guess if that is your opinion, should we just keep moving then? Although she's, she's ready to die, and she's, basically about to die. She's still trying to guide us out of here. So, I mean, we could technically use her to get out of here.
If we've reached a decision, then let us get on with it. I don't want to drag her through the woods, and I'm unwilling to unshackle her.
All right. Well, Hypatia, we are on two sides of the same coin right now. Basically. In our beliefs, like one's heads, one's tails, one believes they're right, one believes they're right.
Sure.
Well, I guess in time, we will find out which one was right. And then I'll...
Alright. So as Hypatia opens her mouth to reply, Thor swings her sword decapitation. What are you going for?
Yeah.
And obviously with the position she's in and the heft of his sword, it just... where it cuts off, a little bit of gurgly spit kind of moving out of her lip before her head separates from the body. Plops down on the ground.
Well, you heard the lady. Let's move.
It was a very pretty head you separated from a very pretty body. It's a shame, though.
You can keep it if you want it.
No, it's yours. You earned it.
Well, I was gonna bring it anyways.
No, really. There's no need for that.
Well, I need it for evidence that we found the person responsible and killed them.
Oh, really, maybe it's our word is sufficient. It's just a head of an elf girl. Of no particular importance. Jarek, would you help me dig a shallow grave.
I'll help with that too. Also get my manacles back.
I'd like to believe that Jarek just like punts her fucking head off into the woods unless Thor keeps it.
I mean, I was just gonna keep it for evidence. I don't feel like that's a terrible idea.
It's like a
They
very-
don't know that
Yeah.
she's involved until we tell them. So
Yeah,
If he
I
wasn't-
guess.
wanted, you know what I mean?
I don't know. You could speak with Dead and ask her a question. I don't know. I'm just saying.
We don't have to speak with Dead anymore.
Well, we don't, but they might.
All right, so I help dig.
I'm going to. I guess I'll give her head to whoever. I'll give it to JD and
Okay.
let him do with it what he will. But I will watch him for a second to make sure he doesn't like unzip his pants or anything.
No, my head canon is he just takes the head and then just punts it into the woods.
Head cannon.
Yes.
Anything on her body?
I mean, there would be. She's basically just kind of wearing like general traveling clothes, nothing super important. There would be like, small bits of food. There'd be her bow, like a dagger. No, like, notes or anything of super importance. You would eventually notice if you, I guess, went digging. She has. I don't know if the party itself remembers this from a while ago. The crude emblem of like a stone sphere with a yellow eye painted on the front of it, kind of roughly with paint. She has one of those on underneath her clothes.
Eric would, I'm sure, look her up and down with the telescope of magic seeing.
Mm-hmm. There would be nothing to find there.
All right, so we give her a pitiful burial, sans head.
Yeah. And are the dagger or the bow remarkable anyway? Like anything that anybody who knew her would know that was hers?
I would say it's reasonable that like they're unique enough that like someone could recognize them as hers, but they're not like unique in any sort of like mechanical way. Yeah.
I'll keep her dagger and her little stone amulet thing in unless anybody else wants them.
All right.
I'm going on a walk while they bury Hypatia.
Okay.
So I don't really want to be around the decision that I just made.
Alrighty. So we're talking like quick shallow grave, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thor, give me a perception check.
Okay, you got it, dude.
Are you heading in any sort of direction or aimless or? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to walk like away from our camp, like just any direction straight away, not like, going in a circle or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously remembering which direction I came from. And I kind of just want to talk out loud again, praying as they call it.
Mm-hmm. Buffy would be here, by the way.
Buffy is here?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. Well, either way, I'll just kind of pat my hand on Buffy while we're walking. I'll just be like, I don't know if what I just did was right, but I felt a tingle.
Rock solid defense.
I hope that what you saw was best, because I tried really hard to find a reason to let her live. But there was just no good that I could see in her. She seemed misguided to me. But I guess I seem misguided to her. See, I don't know. This is all about everybody's perspective and who's right and who's wrong. But I have to believe that I'm right. so I can't help her do wrongs to more people. So I hope you can understand, Mrs. Tingle.
All right. So Thor, as you go on this spiritual journey with your animal and your thoughts and your insightful comments, moving a little bit away from the camp, kind of hearing the beginning sounds of a shallow grave being built and the residual sounds of some some soccer ball shaped item clunking away into the woodland distance. You begin hearing more clearly now that you're away from conversation and, I don't know, opinions being thrown around. The distant sounds of more or less just the scrambling of things, of people, of creatures, of items. You're a fair distance away, but you are still within earshot of the entrance to that mine. We're talking that you're hearing like the distant echoes of it, but any sort of, commotion going on in that area you would eventually be hearing. And you do hear a fair bit of, I guess precisely, commotion going on. Random cackling and calling and shouting, various creatural sounds, barking, howling, screaming, roaring, things of that nature, things that you'd be familiar with during your fight in the mine. But that'd be your general night lullaby as you are going out on your little excursion.
And does it, I don't know if, with my perception if I can tell this, but does it seem like they're getting closer or like they're moving at all, or I'm just hearing it coming from the cave?
It's so distant that it's hard to judge a more precise distance.
Okay.
And you're not listening for like hours, you're listening for like a couple minutes, so.
Yeah. I'd just like to pause then, like after that. Just kind of listen. Wait, like, because I don't know how long it takes them to dig a shallow grave, but like, wait like a minute or two, maybe 3, and just see if I can hear them getting closer.
You want to give me another perception?
Sure. Better. Yep.
Solid.
Yeah.
It is hard to tell, but if you had to guess, it seems like potentially the barking is a little more prominent than it was on your first listen, but it's hard to tell.
Okay. And even if I get like the hint of that, I'll just, I guess since it's not close, right? It's not like super close.
Yeah.
Then I will make my way semi-hastily back to our encampment. And hopefully they're done digging that.
Yeah, I would say reasonably 2/3 people, so 2.5 people, 2.5 men digging a shallow grave. Well, like 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like I said, they're kind of finishing up as you return, kicking the dirt back over.
Guys, I think we need to go.
Agreed.
Anything in particular? Or?
Well, I heard, obviously, we're not too far away from where we just killed their leader. But I heard some barking, and then I waited a little bit, and I heard a little bit of louder barking.
Okay, let's go.
Yep.
Keep the mountain range on your right. Don't lose sight of the man in front of you.
We ride.
So everyone is mounted going through the woods?
Into the woods, indeed.
Okay. And I'm imagining no one is using any sort of light sources or torches or things of that nature, right?
No.
Not in particular. Not if there is any star or moonlight.
Yeah,
so
can we see?
To explain what you guys are trudging into, the forests or the woodlands in Aether are noticeably more dense, wild, twisted, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Gnarly?
Untamed, gnarly, yeah. So there's various, roots, streams, boulders, ruins, rocks, old ancient tree with twisted roots, and it's pitch black. The canopies of these woods are dense from years and years of just being allowed to kind of grow without any sort of limit. So you're going to be trudging through a dense, wild, thick woodlands in the dark with no light on a horse.
Being on a horse makes me feel more confident because it at least can smell.
I can't see very well, so I'm not opposed to having light.
I don't feel like we have to move very quickly. It's just important to keep moving for right now.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, because it didn't get much closer.
So everyone, and I guess we'll have to include Jarek within this role, give me survival with disadvantage. Oh my god.
Nice. I know how to roll.
So there's from me.
Hey, nice.
So 17, 14, 1.
Hey,
Yeah.
3.
Here comes Jarek.
Oh, shit. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks,
What a-
Jarek.
What a roller coaster of a roll. It literally started at 1 and slowly made its way up to 20. Okay. So, as you guys depart your temporary campsite, all mounted up on your various horses, Jarek seems to be in incredibly high spirits. For no reason, seemingly, just absolutely beaming from ear to ear. The impending death coming from behind just is a small nuisance in his mind, as a true step in the right direction has really been achieved this night. Thor, as you are struggling to come to terms with what you decided and weighing the options and trying to figure out if the tingles made you do it or if there is something deeply flawed within the character of your soul. That was a much deeper sentence than I was prepared for.
Ouch, man, damn.
The four of you begin to, I guess, forge a path through this incredibly dangerous terrain, especially in the pitch black of this night. As all four of you are crunching through these twigs, branches like swiping at your face, various like amounts of vines and foliage kind of catching your armor, your equipment, it's slow going, and it certainly is not easy or even clear that you are keeping the path or the direction that you set upon, trying to peer through the dark canopy of the woodlands to keep the mountains to your right, to try and figure out where the moon is just the worst traveling you guys have ever experienced in your months traveling together. As a few hours pass, and Jarek almost seems to take the lead, this strange intuition kind of flowing from his soul as some of you kind of stumble off of the path or lose direction. He pulls you back in and he steers you forward. You begin to hear that barking that Thor had described earlier growing louder and louder. Maybe you guys have made a few miles of progress. It's hard to tell, especially with the light that you are dealing with. But eventually you would somewhat perceive or guess or assume this loud, distinct, long-held howl kind of pierces the night. And you can place it roughly where your camp might have been when you initially began trudging through the woodlands. And that certainly is a rather alarming noise.
And that's a few miles behind us?
Your best guess, yes.
Well, it appears as if she was correct. Had we stayed there, we would have had more work in front of us tonight.
Not proud to say it, but her remains may buy us some time tonight.
Well, Don't think she's gonna feed very many of them. She might just be an appetizer.
Well, let's make sure we're not the main course.
Indeed. Keep moving.
I'm gonna step
Onward.
to my Jarek. Guys, they're dogs, right? Howling, barking dogs, right?
Yeah, so should we, like, cross water or something?
If they're smelling us, I can make things smell different. That's what I do.
So Jarek would prestidigitate everyone smelling like
Well, as Valoran puts forth the idea of moving forward, he's like, why don't we hide? And I'll put our scent somewhere else and just have them run by us.
How do we roughly know how many miles we have left here?
Not really.
Like, I guess, like, how long it took us to travel to where we were versus where we are now.
So it's like a week of traveling through these woodlands, but it's hard to judge how fast you were traveling with Hypatia versus how fast you'd be traveling now, especially not knowing like the terrain or landmarks or things of that nature. So
Okay, but like
Yeah.
it hasn't been a week, so we're not like anywhere close
No.
to the end of the forest. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I feel like they're gonna keep tracking us because they think that we have the leg, even though we don't have the leg. Either that, or they think that we killed their leader, which we definitely did do that.
Or
I
they're just
definitely
hunting.
did that.
how long is it until daylight?
So you guys have just set off as like evening ended and night began. So you'd probably left at like 8 or 9, and it's now maybe 11 or 12 at night.
We can't really see anything. It's
It's the best plan we have. If anybody has any other plans,
always
No.
heard when you're being tracked by dogs, it's better to make life difficult for the dogs, not the people leading them. Is there any terrain we can go that would be hard for them to follow? Not really, I'm supposing, with horses.
Decker, don't
Trying
you
to
have
find it in
the
dark.
owl?
Hmm?
Don't you have the owl, Decker?
Yes, yeah. So I send Aurora up.
Well, I imagine you would have cast like her summoning ritual while you were traveling.
No, you know what? No, I can't. Yeah, that's an hour long. It's an hour long. I don't think I can do it from horseback.
What?
I think you can.
Yeah, I imagine you could.
Just sitting on the horse.
If you guys are all right with that, then yeah, I would have. We can go back and say that I would have done that.
also we had some like semi downtime in the camp we
Yeah,
were at.
I mean that was
So.
probably like 10 minutes. So,
Hey, that's 10 minutes out of an hour.
but yeah, I'd say you could reasonably cast that while like on horseback, especially when you're just kind of like in the dark and left to do nothing else.
Okay, if you're okay with it, then I certainly am. Then
Okay.
I have an owl again. Yeah, and she's looking around.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check for her then.
Okay. Yay!
You're whole again.
I am. All right. So she's got a passive perception of 13, if that matters, and here comes her perception roll.
Okay. And she does have it's dark vision of like 120 feet with her, right?
It is.
Do owls get advantage on perception, or is that just like eagles?
So it's 120 feet. And owl has advantage on wisdom, on perception checks that rely on hearing or sight. So yeah, I would probably get to roll that one again.
Yeah, go for it. Alrighty, cool. So, as you step into Aurora, kind of sending her up above the canopy, now you're actually allowed to see the mountains, the moon, the stars, the wilderness kind of stretching around you. But looking in the immediate area that you know that the party is in, you glance around the woodlands, trying to discern any sort of different shape or terrain or something that is not the continuous, monotonous leaves that just basically stretch on forever. And you do spot a small stream kind of coming down from the mountains, and it weaves through the woodlands. It's kind of hard to follow in a few different places, but eventually it does run through what appears to be potentially some ruins, some old tower or building or structure made of stone that has been, toppled and grown over after a long period of time. The stream actually running through the building and out the other side. And that is maybe about 200 or 300 feet in front of the party, a little bit up the hill, and that would be more or less the sightings that you see.
So I'd relay that on to everyone and believe this might be a place we can, if nothing else, fortify.
Right. Do your best to lead the way. Jarek, leave your smells.
Yeah, please cover our tracks. And if you can, possibly make it so that we're going towards the path, right? So we could try to lead them away from...
And I'll have Aurora just kind of flutter in front of us in the exact direction towards the ruins, so we should be able to key off of her.
Okay. Give me a singular moment, companions. Talk amongst yourselves if need be.
Yeah. Do we have anything that we can throw the other way?
So, since I am playing Jarek, kind of, sort of, and Jarek is an absolute strategic mastermind, once you guys have gotten to where you're going, he might recommend giving Aurora, leaves with your scent on it and then having her fly it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So,
I was just gonna, if we had stuff that was, dispensable, I could just throw it the opposite direction, towards the... Any way to make it toward, it seemed like we're going towards the path.
I take a strip of cloth and just rub it all in my armpits, really get my funk on it and pass that around to everyone to get it as nasty with their own personal scent as you can.
Jarek jams in his belly button.
Yeah,
I'll just take a separate cloth
No,
and do the same.
Thor, we need one cloth, please.
Why don't we have two, one for each?
This isn't the time to be... We only have a few minutes. I need to have her fly. She can't carry all of this. Dogs track off of our scent glands from our sweat. I've used them before. They're very good at it.
All right. Why do you have to give it to me after, JD?
He will clean you up.
It's not the same.
Yeah, or really, it's no big deal. And then he'll point at you and prestidigitate yourself clean.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Yep.
I will go ahead and...
Do I pass it to Valorant now?
Yeah, he just goes along with it.
Yeah.
So
then,
using... yep.
Yeah, and then I'll have Aurora take it, and if she can she spot the tracking party?
She can attempt to, but it would be difficult.
Okay, well, yeah, she'd certainly try.
Okay. So after the party is, you can make your way to the ruins that you spot using Aurora as kind of like a ping system. Eventually, you guys steer your horses up into this absolutely desolate building. The walls are caved in, the floor is all rotted out. There's trees and vines growing all over the various remnants of this structure. But getting inside and feeling at least a little bit more protected than just being in this kind of encroaching woodlands constantly and having at least some surface area that is relatively flat to stand on and function on, you can start sending Aurora out to, cast Descent with the ribbon and kind of look around. Go ahead, give me another perception with advantage to see if you can spot the pursuers, sir. But as you guys enter the ruins, is there anything specific you guys are doing?
Yeah. I would like to try to just listen here and see if there's anything that I hear nearby.
Okay, go for that.
Um,
So 17, sir, for Aurora?
Yeah, and as we enter the ruins, I'm checking for traps.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception for Decker then. Valerie, doing anything?
Yeah, I'm taking some rope and setting some trip lines
hey.
at the openings to the interior of this ruin.
Okay. Gotcha. So, we'll do this in order. Decker, as you are casting into Aurora again, using her vision to kind of scan the forest around you, there is the slightest disruption of the canopy and the foliage off in the general direction you assume you came from. It's hard to tell if that's specifically what is chasing you, but it certainly is seemingly moving in your direction, so that's your best bet. And to roughly give you some sort of distance, it's maybe like a mile and a half off, so it's not too far away. And then Thor, as you... Yes?
All I was going to say is, so if that's where I think that they're at, and I know where we're at,
Mm-hmm.
some intermediary point, can I take, can I fly that strip close to where they're at and leave a smell trail towards a flowing body of water?
Tell me, how far can you command Aurora? Because there is a limit to that, correct?
Yeah.
I think it's as far as long as you're in control of them at that point. But after that, they can do their own stuff, I think.
Get back to me on
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
So
You can
Thor,
communicate with them. You can communicate with them if they're within 100 feet telepathically, and see through their eyes and ears.
Yeah, your
Uh,
familiar acts independently of you, but it always obeys your commands.
so you would give
Yeah.
it the command, and then she would go and attempt to do it to the best of her ability.
Yeah, basically leave. What I want her to do is to kind of make a smell trail with that thing towards a river, and have her drop it on the others, on the near side of the river, so that they get to it, and now they got to figure out, okay, did they cross the river? Which way do they go? Yada yada yada.
Okay. So send Aurora off to do that. Thor, as you step in and kind of do a quick glance around, a quick listen to see if anything catches your interest, the general, nightlife of the woodlands is still very persistent as you come in, even with the slight amount of shelter that you have. There is the kind of bubbling stream or creek running through the room itself. You do hear what sounds like maybe rodents or smaller creatures kind of darting under the floorboards, up and over the stone. It's kind of light scraping noise. Nothing that would send up any sort of alarm bells to you. It seems that this is just kind of another remnant in the woodlands that the creatures kind of use and live in.
Okay. If I don't hear anything, can I then dismount and try to look for tracks of whatever's been through here before?
Okay. It is pitch
Or,
black, so it would be a little difficult to do that.
Okay.
So you
Then
can
maybe
still-
not.
Okay.
I mean, I'll try it, but yeah, I'll just try it.
Okay.
But do whatever else.
And
What
then
do you need me to roll?
Investigation.
Survival? Oh,
Yeah, investigation I'll go with.
okay.
And so then, Decker, as you are sending Aurora out, coming back, looking around to see if there's any sort of ill intentions in this place, it's certainly just kind of getting the glance and then double checking in your surroundings. Seems that this place has been picked through and ran through, and there's no, hint or threat or easily identifiable spot of oh, this looks fishy or this looks off. It's just a ancient, grown over ruins as far as you can tell.
Do you want me to roll with disadvantage? Sorry.
No, you're good. We're gonna say, Rob.
Do you want me to roll with?
I was just gonna. It looks safe enough here for the time being, gentlemen. I believe I'm be best served to go back downstream and just keep watch. I'll communicate with you if I see anything. Is this agreeable?
Are you going to take a rest tonight?
I believe we'll. I'm in pretty good shape. I can do without.
Well, if you feel yourself starting to doze off, wake someone else for a shift.
Of course. And I'll. So the limit of my message is what, 100 feet, I believe. So I'll
100
go
or 120. Excuse me. Yeah.
I'll go to its limit about, and I'll hide somewhere and just be watching for anybody approaching.
So upstream or downstream?
I meant back in the direction we came.
Gotcha. Okay, good. And then Valorant, you were setting up that kind of rope sound trap, correct?
Not even sound, really, just a tripwire.
Gotcha. All right.
And he would have pointed that out to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was definitely working on it. Obviously.
Yeah, and then Thor with your dark, temporary, quick. Yeah.
It's
not.
okay.
Yeah,
You don't have to say anything. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so I guess I would just try to find a place to sleep.
Yeah, I'm assuming everyone's kind of like tucking their horses away, kind of tucking themselves away, trying to be as low profile as possible. As low profile as Belgrees can be.
I would say to JD, I would probably recommend that he go with Decker to like cover his tracks as he gets there, and then cover his tracks going back, if that makes sense. Like cover his scent.
Thor, I literally broke my arm. I need to sleep.
No, but JD, I'm just saying you go with him and then you just come right back.
Arasi, it's okay. This is something I'm rather good at.
Just trying to cover sense here.
He knows what he's doing. He can turn into a rock.
And to be fair, if they've made it this far, my sin won't really matter.
Wait, hold on. When did you turn into a rock?
Arguing.
You turn into a rock.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I guess, go ahead. Everyone, because Decker, you're also going to be hiding. Go ahead and give me just a straight stealth check, just to get a general idea how everyone's managing this particular feat.
And I still roll mine with advantage, right?
Yeah. Oof.
And here comes Jarek's. And here comes mine.
So is there anything else that anyone is doing besides Decker waiting and everyone... Whoa, holy crap.
Yeah.
But yes, is there anything besides like sleeping that you guys are doing currently?
I'm gonna take a watch shift.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be safe.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, sorry, not to interrupt you. I was gonna ask if you guys wanted us three to do watches.
I think between Caspian and me and Thor, we've probably got it. We can let Jarek sleep off that broken arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I am at. I have. Well, I mean, yeah, a long rest would be nice. So
yeah, what are you at?
My hit points are fine. I could use a little refresh on some abilities. But...
Okay, so you're looking okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering how you look.
He's looking dashing.
Thor. Oh yeah, right. Forgot about that. Minus. Anyways, yeah, I would definitely be okay with taking a watch. I'll just tell James, just wake me up when you get tired, and I'll watch over Our sleeping boy.
Will do, Thor.
All right.
When I get into position, can I? I'll have. Is Aurora done doing what she needs to, or not?
Yeah, she would have returned after, like, everyone kind of settling in, you finding your spot. She'd come back into your radio range.
All right. So in the immediate area, can she sense anything?
Like looking specifically at you and the party.
Like in the area that I'm at, is there anything that's imminent threat?
What was her last perception?
Decent.
It was 17? Okay.
Yeah.
As she looks around, mostly your immediate area, just kind of trying to see this new point that you've kind of established. Again, there would be like the frequent movement of, rodents and squirrels and smaller creatures, birds and things that might catch her eye, specifically being something that might eat those things. As far as like giants or ogres or wolves or anything of that nature, there's nothing immediately around you that kind of triggers her warning bells.
All right, then I would have her come back to me, and I would scratch her behind her ears and tell her that she's done a good job. And dear, I'm going to take just a moment of rest. If you could just keep watch right overhead, and if anything moves, just come down and make a ruckus, would you?
Guess she would kind of like turn her head into you as a sign of acknowledgement.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna try to get a short rest out of the way right now, or in the next hour.
Okay. So Valorant, are you on watch, or are you waiting for Decker to return to go on watch?
No, I was gonna go on and take one.
Okay. So Decker,
So
give me perception for Aurora. Valorant, give me perception for yourself. Ugh. They're not being nice to you today, James.
No, having a hard time. Just have to count on being awake and being good enough.
Okay. So, Valorant is your heroic...
Wait. Hold on.
Oh, because of advantage?
Yeah, I forget she has advantage.
Yeah. But, so Valorant, as you are settling in with your heroic companions after a absolutely strange day, like it is, I guess, a point to be made that this day started with you guys going into the mine and then ended with you beheading Hypatia. So it's been a very long day. And finally as you all settle down into this strange, dark, kind of uneasy ruins that you hope is enough to obscure you from whatever pursues you, you just listen to the various sounds of Aether, the distant howling and barking, random crunching and crashing somewhere off distantly in the woodlands, the various rodents or snakes or lizards or newts that you imagine kind of running around the floorboards, jumping from the rocks, moving through the stream. It is difficult to feel at ease at any point. There's just this underlying, almost electric tension, whether it's because you're in Aether itself or the woodlands or some mystical energy that's like settled across this land. It is just this consistent, almost fear that just like tugs at the back of your mind. But you sit there in, I guess, mostly pitch darkness. There's a little bit of moon kind of coming into the center of these ruins just because there aren't as dense of a canopy over this exact location. So there's a little bit of light that you can use to at least watch some of the leaves kind of drifting in and out of the wind, some sort of something to keep your mind occupied besides this black void that you find yourself in. But several hours go past and nothing really catches your attention. Again, the barking and howling that you had heard grows closer and closer, and you hope that whatever diversion or stealth or hiding that you've concocted is enough to steer them away. But Decker, as you take an hour to relax, get some shut-eye, reset a little bit, setting up Aurora as a early warning system or an alarm clock, more or less. 6. Okay. You seem to rest for about an hour, maybe a little bit less. You're somewhere in that range, still kind of edging on the deeper sleep that you might get if you try to sleep through the night. How are you resting? Are you sitting against something, laying on the ground? What position are you in?
He'll just be, they're on the ground, kind of kneeling. Just your kind of almost meditative pose, but...
Okay. So as you're still loosely in your sleep, you feel this, like, small...
I'm sorry, I was not intending to sleep. I was just looking to get a short rest.
Oh, a short rest. Okay, so you're not, like, taking an hour of sleep. You are resting for an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Misunderstood that. Okay. So yes, as you are relaxing, meditating for an hour, however you want to flavor that one, in deep thought, you feel this, like, small, tiny pinprick of pain in your neck. And at first you're like, oh, like a muscle spasming or there's something strange. And you're like, no, that's too persistent to be just like a random flare-up. And you open your eyes, you kind of turn your head to where the pain is happening, and you see a bipedal rodent on your shoulder, dressed in what appears to be armor, various small bits of iron kind of strapped to his body. He's holding what might have been a sewing needle at some point in its life. He has this crude thimble-like helmet on top of his head. One of his ears has been ripped off. His muzzle's all kind of messed up. He has this, like, thick, black, matted fur, and he's staring up at you, and he pokes your neck. And finally, as your eyes meet with him, he goes, "Are you the Rainbow Warrior? The one with the flaming sword? Tell me."
Yeah, he is a companion of mine, and put that away. It's very rude. My name is Decker Caspian. Who am I speaking to?
You know the Rainbow Warrior.
I do know of him. I call him by a different name.
Kind of, like, looks around, and listening to your voice, he seems to kind of, like, calm down, I guess is the correct term to use. He steps back on your shoulder, kind of looks down and, like, straightens out a little bit of his armor, kind of, like, tugs it into place, and then sheaves his sword by just kind of, like, jamming it through a loose belt that he has. "I am Elbelin."
Elbelin, it is very interesting to meet you, and thank you for sheathing your sword. It was very intimidating.
It is not my finest weapon. But you know the Rainbow Warrior that I seek.
Yes, and go on.
My friend and I, we need the Rainbow Warrior and what he has.
I'll make a deal with you. You see, I'm rather preoccupied right now. There are people who are chasing us. Things that are chasing us that I assume intend to kill us. I'm here keeping watch for them. Would you help me through the night to do that?
You're worried about the wargs.
Indeed, if that's what they are.
Mysterious men. There's no reason to worry about the wargs.
Put my mind to rest, because I'm rather worried about wargs. Why should we not worry about them?
He kind of turns and then, like, gestures at your hand. He's like, "Put your arm out." He kind of, like, hops down your arm, kind of slides down your bicep a little bit, eventually into your palm, and he's like, "Put me down." And you see him just scurry off into the distance. Aurora just kind of, like, watching the rodent move across this small empty space. There's maybe 4 or 5 seconds of silence. And then you hear this, like, thump, thump, thump. And my knee kicks my desk, very fitting. And out of the shadows is this tall, maybe 8-9 foot lizard man. It appears more to be this alligator, this large, scaled creature. with teal skin, again being armored, one eye missing an eye patch crossed over one side. On his shoulder is the rodent that you are semi-familiar with, clinging to this strap that's been kind of fashioned on his neck, where seemingly that is his grip onto this man. And stepping out of the shadow, this large reptilian warrior kind of just like looks you up and down, and then he looks to the shoulder, and you see him do this kind of mysterious hand movements, these taloned fingers kind of scraping together, clacking a little bit, and then the rodent kind of nodding along, and then looks back at you, and he like taps the side of this warrior's neck. He's like, "This is my finest weapon. Wargs, no problem."
Well, that's a very fine weapon, and should we find ourselves in a confrontation with wargs, it would be certainly useful to have such a companion. However, rather not fight them.
But he doesn't want you. He wants the Rainbow Warrior.
What do you want with him?
Kind of looks over at the creature, who again kind of like does a few hand moments. The rodent kind of like jumping up to whisper in what you imagine might be his ear. Sure. Comes back down, looks over at you. "Yuan Zhou, my finest weapon, wants to destroy what the Rainbow Warrior collected."
Do you intend any harm to my companions? The Rainbow Warrior specifically?
If he doesn't give up the... If he doesn't hand over what we want, then maybe.
What do you want from him?
They kind of converse a little bit, the rodent again hopping up to his ear, and then looking to the side. The warrior seeming to like gesture with his hands a bit more violently, I guess you should say, or more ferociously, maybe. Rodent hops back down, looks over at you. "Kadoto had a leg. The Rainbow Warrior now has the leg. We want to destroy the leg."
Yes, the leg is not with our party anymore. It was... We unfortunately had to surrender it. I can
Why?
tell you why.
Who?
Because it was... Are you familiar with a man named Novan?
No.
Well, that is who has the leg. And I can tell you in what direction he went. Perhaps you could track him, but... I'm very sorry to tell you we don't have the leg anymore.
Kind of converses with the warrior again, a bit more signing going back. Rodent, angrily whispering into his ear, turns back to you. "Tell me where he went."
Okay, and I would do my best to describe the approximate direction that we came from, where our old camp was, and the last direction we saw him going off in.
But I warn you, he seems to be magical in nature. I doubt he's just gallivanting on foot in that direction. You might have a hard time tracking him, but good luck.
Mysterious man, you wouldn't lie to me.
No, I probably under the right circumstances would lie to you, but I'm not lying now, but I really have no way to prove that now, do I?
How do I even know that you know the Rainbow Warrior?
Well, if you'd like to stay for breakfast, I could introduce you. But he's sleeping right now, and really, he's ugly. And you should give him his rest so he can wake up and have a fighting chance of not scaring away little girls.
I want to meet the Rainbow Warrior.
Then I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Stay on watch here so that we can keep our companions safe, my companions. And in the morning, we'll all have breakfast together.
Looks back up at the warrior. Lizardman looks back. Bit of signing. Bit more signing. A bit more signing. Finally a bit of a shrug. lets the rodent down onto the ground. The lizardman seems to turn away, going back into the darkness as the rodent begins approaching you again.
Have you ever flown an owl before?
No, hate owls. Owls want to eat me.
Let me introduce you to one that doesn't. Aurora.
He like slowly reaches for his little sewing needle, like drawing it out of his belt.
She's quite calm, quite tame.
You
So
are rather
one-
mysterious.
It's a one-in-a-lifetime experience. She could take you for a flight around your local area, if you'd like.
I have not flown before.
I doubt many of your kind have.
Mysterious man, what was your name?
Decca Caspian. But you can just call me Decca. And your name was again?
Aberlin.
Evelyn.
Aberlin.
Aberlin.
Yes. Decker is a weird name.
It's the only one I've got.
Give me your owl, I will take a ride.
And as soon as he says that, she'll grab him by his shoulder armor and I'll just have him do a nice lazy circle around the area.
So as Aurora picks him up, you would hear this like, no, not like this, no. And then Aurora would get up into the sky, do a little circle. You'd hear it's like, ah! And then finally the owl would come back down, setting the rodent down, landing, attempting to be a bit more graceful, standing up as tall as he can, kind of readjusting the thimble that he had held on while flying. I think we shall rest a bit. That was,
Exhilarating.
no.
To be honest, I'm rather jealous. I've never flown either.
The rodent seems shaken, and then just kind of walks up beside you, kind of plumps down on his butt, and just seems to wait.
Now let's get to work. Aberlin.
Yes. All right. So that would be near the end of your short rest. So we can go ahead and say that you have accomplished that task.
Hey.
Do you plan on staying where you're at, going back to the party? What is your plan?
I'm going to stay there till the morning.
Okay. So Valorant, after, about, I guess we'll say 4 hours or so, reaching the end of your watch, you wouldn't have heard anything alarming. The barking and the howling would have gotten closer. Eventually, somewhere where you assume the diversion had taken place, you would have heard it diverting a little bit, growing a little bit softer, a little bit more distant, getting more difficult to really discern precisely where it is, but you can kind of safely assume the plan has gone as expected or as hoped.
You would see Thor toss and turn in the night. Just FYI.
You can't outrun demons.
So, quietly rousing Thor for his turn.
Huh? I'll start reaching for my sword. Oh. Okay.
Just your turn, Thor, that's all.
Alright. Buffy. I'll just hit Buffy. Come on, let's move to a better viewpoint. Get some sleep. Valorant.
I'm going to try.
Jarek just in the background snoring rather steadily. Like one hand
Yeah.
left in the creek.
I'm just gonna have a sock in my hand. Just look at him. And just throw it on the ground. And then I'll I guess probably the middle of this place would be the best vantage point, or is someplace higher than another place. Just I would try to get the best vantage point and look out.
Okay.
Just twiddling my thumbs, stroking my sword as they do,
Mm-hmm.
usual barbarian things.
And go ahead and give me a perception then there, sir.
Absolutely. Does my bear get to assist me? Because that'd be pretty dope.
We'll say the darkness is hindering your advantage. Okay.
Okay. Well, do you want me to roll again because I'm in pitch black?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So Valorant, you're off to bed then, sir?
Right.
Okay. So Thor, as you take up your position and you begin listening into the night, as you had awoken, you were, I guess, maybe mildly surprised or thankful to hear that the howling and barking that you've been pursued by seems to be a rather distant threat at this point. My camera keeps slowly going the wrong way. So as you take up your position, listening to the various nightlife, and somewhat being able to see the moon crossing over from midnight later into like 3, 4, 5 in the morning, eventually the small tints and hues of dawn creeping through the various small cracks in the woodlands that you can see, the bird songs of morning eventually picking up. You are left to keep watch until the morning. I imagine Jarek being able to sleep without having to have a watch would probably get up somewhere around dawn. Decker, I don't know what your plan is as far as returning time frame wise.
Yeah, just as soon as dawn started to break, I'd make my way back to the camp.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and say you sit through your watch. No more, alarming sounds or things that would put you on edge growing any closer. So you just kind of are left there with Buffy. Is there anything you would do during that time, Thor?
No, not really. Actually, it's on my to-do list. I would try to attempt to teach Buffy more words other than no.
Okay. Explain to me how you are doing this, sir.
Well, first I would try to establish that Buffy is listening to me, actively listening to me. And then first I'd try to make Buffy say no again. So I'd present the question "Are you my dad?" and then see what the reaction was. And then I would say no. I would try to make the response again. And then I'd be now you say it. And then try to build
Give
on
me
things.
a straight intelligence check.
You got it. Absolutely.
I believe in you, sir. Is that an actual 0?
It's a 2 minus 2.
Okay. So, Valorant, as you
Hey,
begin...
Can I still not roll below a 10, or is this different?
This is different.
Damn it. Okay, never mind.
Valorant, as you find whatever peaceful, semi-peaceful situation you can to sleep in, hoping that Belgrease is well enough tucked away, you would hear this just incoherent rumblings and mumblings from Thor talking to his bear, almost chasing this creature around the small space you guys are set in, as he is repeatedly just following and going, no, no, as this weird conga line continues to shift back and forth. But yes, eventually, as Thor, you get through your watch, seemingly not reaching any sort of intellectual depth with Buffy, and dawn begins to rise. We will take our 10-minute break. So Thor, as you are sitting on watch, Jarek eventually kind of rumbling himself from sleep, dawn creeping up from the horizon, you would eventually, I guess, either spot or hear Decker's companion as he is making his way back to the ruins that you are all settled into.
And as I'm traveling from our little resting spot, I'll message Valorant and tell him, "Don't be alarmed. I have a couple of unusual companions following me."
And we completed our arrest, is that right?
Yeah, I'll slide the time frame around enough that you've gotten your rest there, sir.
Yeah, did I get mine?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a little bit finicky, but we'll go with it. So, Valorant, I guess, as dawn is creeping up and the end of Thor's watch is coming to, you would be woken up by Decker's warning.
And I'll inform the others that Decker's coming back with company of some kind.
Unusual.
So as
just-
they... Actually, I'll go ahead and... Yes?
I'll just kind of, I guess, keep my sword close, considering where we are and what we just escaped.
So as Decker comes back into view, moving up to the ruins that you have come across, you would spot the large, imposing lizard folk behind him, I guess after taking in the warrior, catching the small rodent upon his shoulder. As you all approach, before anyone can really say anything or Decker introduces them, the small rodent, as loud as he can, which is only about like half the volume of a full person could reach if they were screaming their heads off, would just go, "The Rainbow Warrior, where? Who? Which one?"
I believe it's Thor and his Thorasius and his rainbow sword.
What? Wait, Rainbow? What?
So the rest of the party watching this, I assume, would witness the lizard folk signing back to the rodent him going back and forth, turning up to you. "The one who killed Kadoto, the Rainbow Warrior, the flaming sword.
The flaming sword.
He stood over his body as his body burned."
Wait,
Are you referring to
what?
Eric?
Is he the Rainbow Warrior?
He was the one who technically killed.
It's that guy. He killed them.
They look over to Jarek, or I guess the rodent looks over to Jarek, speaks to the lizard folk, who begins to not laugh, but chuckle. Just kind of like before he signs back to the rodent. "That is not the Rainbow Warrior. He not killed Kadoto."
Can assure you, he did. But it wasn't with a flaming sword. He
Oh, but didn't he look different?
yes. This is who you mean. Jarek. Do that thing. Make yourself look like that. Well, what you did.
Is that a level spell, or is that a ability?
Disguise self.
That's a real spell, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
You-
spell.
Want him to cast that then, Jarek Jr.?
Yep.
Okay. So Jarek be like, "Oh, yeah, sure, yeah," and like, go through the process or whatever. The rodent now looking over each of you as he kind of waits. Eventually, however the fuck this works, Jarek appears as the kind of stunted version of Hormtar, wielding Shard's Edge, kind of looking all intimidating. The rodent looks over at him. "That's Hormtar. That isn't the Rainbow Warrior."
Well, while he looked that way, he was the one who killed Kadoto, so I'm pleased to introduce you to Jarek, also
Wait, how
known
do you
as
spell
Rainbow
Hormtar?
Warrior.
Everyone knows Hormtar.
Oh, I didn't
Yes,
know
we
that.
knew him last. Or they knew him last.
Yeah,
You
we killed Hormtar too.
He like jumps up to the lizard folk beside him, and again whispering,
Well, actually,
signing, going back and forth.
He did. And I'll point back at Valorant.
Hops back down, looks over all of you, and he like points this tiny little rodent finger, kind of going from one person to the next. Points at Valorant. "You slayed Hormtar." And he points to the stunted Hormtar that is still Jarek. "You killed Kadoto. And all of you are the Rainbow Warrior?"
I don't know how you're coming by this information, but we did these things as companions. Yes.
Companions, I am unfamiliar with the word.
we work together as a group.
Like the two of you.
Two of us. He is my weapon.
But since he's alive, he's also your companion. It's like Thorasius, he's my weapon. But also a companion.
What? Wait, what?
Just play along, Thor.
So the rodent turns back to his companion. They discuss for a little bit longer before he hops back down. I don't know how to deal with all of you. It's a very strange situation.
Wait, who are you?
Who am I? Who are you?
What? I'm Thor.
His name is Albanon.
What?
And Albanon.
Albalin. Albalin
Albalin.
Spicetail.
Albalin.
Albalin Micetail.
Spicetail.
And that giant thing? What's his name?
Yawanjo.
Her name. Wanjo?
Yawanjo.
Yeah, Wanjo. Okay.
Your companion's name is Yawanjo.
Yes.
Okay, I'm Thor. I now wield Shard's Edge, which was his weapon. I'll point
Is that your companion?
The sword?
The weapon, yes, your companion.
Kind of. I mean, I talk to it sometimes, but it never talks back.
Same with Yawanjo.
Well, don't you like talk to each other, or they?
He can't speak,
They
he
don't-
has no tongue. And then Yawanjo, opens up his large, I guess, snout. You see,
Maw.
the maw, whatever you want to call it. Don't correct me.
I'm just giving you a word.
And where you would normally, I guess, see the kind of serpent-like tongue of an alligator, it is just devoid of that particular body part.
And he speaks, but well, I guess he doesn't speak, but he understands us.
Yes.
How did he lose his tongue?
Kadoto cut it out.
Oh,
So he wants to destroy what Kadoto had.
Well, we don't wish to stay here, Mr. Spicetail. How can we help you?
Well, I thought you were the Rainbow Warrior and you had what we want. But you don't have what I want, and you're not the Rainbow Warrior.
To the extent that there ever was a Rainbow Warrior, I think that would be us.
He, I've got the answer to this one, Valor, and he wants the leg. And he wants to destroy the leg. And I've explained to him that we're no longer in possession of it.
yeah, we don't have the leg. We're kind of forced to give it away.
That's unfortunately true. And I'm also doubtful that it could be destroyed by means that are available to us.
You have not seen Yawanjo at his prime.
I mean, I guess it's possible. Why do you want to destroy it?
Yawanjo is very bitter and wants revenge.
Well, he'll have to be content to know that Kadoto is dead. And maybe now he can get on with his life such as it is.
Yawanjo, do you want to get on with your life? The warrior just shakes his head no very slowly.
Well, the leg is traveling north with Novan.
I explained that to him as well.
Well, then we shall go north then.
Are you going to go out of I guess the wild lands? Is that kind of what we're in?
Yes, or a fear is what some people might call it, but yeah, you'd
A
be
fear?
unsure what they call it, yeah.
Okay. You're talking about leaving your, like, country? I don't really know if you have a country or a town or something.
Well, north is Giles. You shall go through Giles and whatever lies above.
Are you sure you want to do that?
It is what Yuanto needs. We shall do it.
Well, I'm just saying because, like, obviously, look at me. I don't look like these people, right? I barely get around as is. I guess they're okay with it, but having a giant, scary, no offense, alligator walking through, I guess what we would call civilized, well, some of us would call civilized land, you may, like, draw some attention.
You see the rodent kind of look over and look back at you. I did have to hide in a hat when I was up there. Can we get a hat big enough for you? No, I don't think so. Good point.
Now,
We shall sneak.
No, are you guys good at sneaking?
I am an expert at sneaking. I have scurried through many a kitchen.
Well, yeah, I can see you, but
Maybe he's good at it, Thor. You're rather sneaky for your size.
yeah, because I have practice.
Maybe he's practiced. We've only just met him.
I guess that's true.
Well, we shall leave then.
Well, wait, are you still intent on going north?
Yes.
I don't want to extend this invite just, like, without us thinking about this as a group, but, like, this guy obviously wants the leg, right? So I'm talking to our group. So I mean, if he kind of wants our end goal, should we accompany him so that he doesn't just, like, get killed? Because I feel bad just letting somebody go north knowing that they're probably gonna die.
Well, he's probably capable of taking care of himself. He's rather intimidating, and his goal isn't really the same as ours. We're looking to find the whole body and destroy the whole thing. He's searching after one leg from what he believes to be Kadoto.
My thought is this. Tell me if you agree, Mr. Spicetail. I assume the two of you are familiar with the lay of the land of Aether.
Him more than me. I'm new.
Travel together with us long enough to lead us back to Giles by the safest route. We'll vouch for you to get into the border. And what you do from there is your business.
Converses with Yuanju a little bit of signing going back and forth. Seems that they argue for maybe a couple minutes, back and forth for some time. Eventually kind of comes back to you. What's in it for us?
Vouching for you to get into Giles over the border without having to sneak.
So you don't
being caught.
And you don't, like, get attacked all the time.
Do you have food?
Yes? Question mark? I would assume we have food.
Food? We have rations.
No, I mean real food. Game, spices, herbs, cheese.
No.
Not with us currently. We do back where we come from.
Do you have food available to you there?
Yes.
With some of the finest cooks in the land.
You do not know the finest cooks in the land. Who are you speaking of?
I most certainly do know the finest cook in the land.
We're really thinking about bringing him into a castle.
Why not?
What
It's
is this
just
chef's
kind of-
name?
I was just proposing over the border of Giles. And Caspian knows the finest cook in that land. I'm sure that the finest cook where you are from is very fine also.
I know the finest cook, or I used to know the finest chef in all of Giles' kingdom.
What was his name?
His name was Chef Aroma.
Aroma, quite fitting. Tell you what, you come with us, and I'll introduce you to the finest chef in my land.
Deal.
Are we agreeing to this, Valor?
Just go with it. It's a talking mouse and a walking alligator.
You're all the way over there. It's fine.
And now I'm here. Deal with it.
It's just until we get out of Aether.
Sneaky people. Okay. I mean, I personally don't care. They haven't attacked us yet, so I think that's a plus for most things in this land. But sure. I guess we can see how far this goes. So I'm okay with it. Obviously, Decker's okay with it. JD?
I don't trust him.
Well, you don't trust most
He's
people. so
short
that's
like a
no.
gnome.
Oh my gosh. He's a mouse, JD.
He has a hat. It's almost pointy.
Oh, jeez. Maybe we can work on that. So you don't trust the tiny thing, but the big thing?
Thor, you're a big thing.
I'm not that big. Alright, fine. Everybody, I guess, is in somewhat of an agreement. Have we eaten yet? I haven't eaten.
Perhaps we can eat on the way.
Okay. Well, are you guys able to keep up with horses?
Your horses can't
I
go
guess
that
they're-
fast through the woods.
I guess they're leading the way too, so that's fine.
Yawanja will lead the way. Come on, weapons.
Companions.
Well, I guess Yawanja would then begin leading you all as you mount up and depart the ruins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was there anything like interesting in these ruins that I found on my watch?
I don't know. Was there?
What? What? I don't know. Was there?
It was rather dark. It was quick. It all happened so fast.
Okay. Oh, never mind then. Crown of
Okay.
memories. It'll be fine.
So, kind of stepping out of the scene for just a little bit. There's going to be a fair bit of traveling here. We are speaking of multiple days of trudging through the woods, stopping and resting and all that fun stuff. Where it probably took you a week to get down, your best guess with your new and less quippy guide would maybe be like another week, a little bit more, getting back to the Giles border. So is there anything specific you guys would be interested in doing during that time? Things you'd be seeking out? Anything? Conversations? Etc.?
Yeah, I'd go talk to Thor along the way.
Okay.
Thor, you've got a moment.
And I have had many a moment, yes.
Wonderful. Look, I just wanted to say thank you. You did what was necessary. With Hypatia.
Oh, okay. I was like,
And-
what are we talking about here?
How are you feeling?
I think I'm okay. I mean, it's just different, you know? Because, like, usually when you battle people or you kill people, they're usually fighting you back, right? But obviously she couldn't fight back, and she never technically has tried to fight us.
Yes, it's just that I remember the first time I ever... Well, I never had to kill anybody on the road. My job was always either to bring them back or kill them trying to bring them back, in which case they were normally fighting, and it was pretty straightforward. But I do remember the first man that I brought back, and the next day I saw him swinging from a rope. And that was me, you know? It was... If it weren't for me, he might still be alive.
What did he do, though?
He was a thief. He stole quite a lot of money. Not simple thievery. He's working as a member of the court and funneled a lot of resources. When they found out that it was him, he fled. We tracked him down. I brought him back, and they strung him up by his neck. He was a nice fellow. Actually, had a rather nice conversation with him on the way back. All in all, it was a very human interaction, and at the end of it, he was dead. I know that's not something to take lightly, and I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Yeah. I'm not terrible. Just still contemplate, even though, you know, you said you had a good conversation. I never had a good conversation with her. So, I mean, that's something that's different. So, I guess, I don't know, it just feels right but wrong at the same time, you know? I'm sure, I guess you do know. I don't know if you know. Is this how people feel when things happen like this?
Yes, there's very rarely black or white, and I find that most people who are able to make entirely black and white decisions are usually not the smartest of us. It's good that you're conflicted. It shows a depth to you that might otherwise not be there.
It doesn't feel great. But thanks, I guess.
You're welcome, I guess.
Well, thanks for watching out for us last night. Did you even sleep? I'm so...
I got a bit of a nap. Nothing to write home about, but usually when I miss a night's sleep, it makes the next one all the much better.
And these people just, like, came up on you in your nap?
Yes, I wasn't napping, I was just dozing, really, but, well, he is rather sneaky. He's a rat or a mouse or whatever he is, but yeah, he had his little sword at my neck, if you can believe that.
All right, I forgot the other little.
The most
And-
remarkable thing happened. We spoke. It was a rather enjoyable conversation, and then, do you know what happened next?
You woke up and you realized it was
I will
a
give
dream.
you all of my money if you can guess what happened next.
I'll edit the fuck out of this. You better.
Give me an insight check, Thor.
What?
Give me an insight check.
Oh yeah, I got this. You ready, Rob?
I believe in
Come
you,
here.
sir. Hit me with that nat 20. Come on. Oh. Come up with something. You gotta do it.
All right, so you had the sword to your neck. You guys had a lovely conversation. And then you guys set up a romantic table. And you talked to each other. And you really got to know and connect with each other. It was like a date almost, but then there was like, the giant 9-foot alligator beside you.
Like a chaperone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, a bodyguard for a very important person.
Even better, I love that.
Yeah.
No,
and
that didn't happen, but wow, if it had, that would have been rather interesting and strange and disturbing all at the same time. But no, he went for a ride on Aurora. If you could imagine, an owl flew a little rat around. When's the next time you'll ever hear about that happening?
Probably the next time Aurora kills a mouse.
A talking mouse, and no, she didn't kill him.
I'm just saying, that would probably be the next time. You'd hear a mouse probably screaming because it's dying in her claws.
I guess when you put it that way, yes, it probably happens every day. But no, this was a talking rat that flew around on an owl. Imagine the stories he'll have to tell his little rat grandbabies.
I mean, those were like born yesterday. We should ask him about his family. Have you asked him about his family?
I leave such things to you, Thorasius. That seems more your wheelhouse.
Yeah, that brings up a lot of questions.
It really does. And anyway, I'm glad you're doing all right. And if there's anything that you need to talk about, it appears that I'm here for the duration.
All right. I will keep you in my mind, but you may slip because I forget sometimes a lot of things.
Talk to you later, Thorasius.
I need to go interrogate a mouse.
Valorant, are you doing anything specific during this insightful conversation?
No, just trying to get the group moving.
Well, this is kind of going on as you are traveling, so.
There's a trot and talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else.
Okay. If hypothetically, an alligator warrior holding a mouse walked up and then placed the mouse on Belgrease, would you allow that, sir?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So as you hear the two kind of chattering on behind you, you guys have been traveling for maybe about 4 or 5 hours now. Yuanjo seemingly pretty deftly moving through the woodlands, kind of looking ahead, listening out, kind of diverting your path and leading you through a bit of a nicer path than you had traveled last night. For a brief moment, he turns around, puts the little rat warrior in his hand, places it on the top of Belgrease's head, the little mouse reaching out and grabbing both of the ears to kind of stabilize himself as the head rocks him back and forth. He just looks up at you intently. So you killed Hornta.
In the end, yes.
How did you do it?
With my glaive.
You're not a good storyteller, are you?
I'm not sure what you want to hear from me, Mr. Spicetail. We fought him in the fort that he was squatting in. And I saw an opening and I took it.
Are you what do they call them? The people that ate all the food, the nobles? Noble? You a noble?
Very good, yes, that's true.
So you are an enjoyer of food.
I have eaten my share, yes.
I think we shall form a companionship over this.
Why not?
How long has it been since you've eaten good food?
I would say Maybe a week and a half.
Much too long. Life is too short to not eat good food. Especially cheese. Melted cheese.
I would tend to agree, but it's important work that we're trying to do.
What is this important work? Is it revenge? Revenge is very important. Ask Yuanjo.
Maybe after a fashion, revenge is involved.
This is how you tell a story. Let's go.
Well, you and your companion want to destroy the leg, but the leg is involved in a much larger business. You see, the leg is just... well, it's just one thing that's on the plate.
The first course.
Quite. So, we also want to destroy the leg, but there's a whole table of food that must be dealt with.
Who prepared this table?
Well, just to keep things simple, let's say that it was Novin.
Is this Novin a renowned chef?
He's a renowned asshole.
I know this word well. Perhaps we can poison him. That's what I did to the last chef.
Well, we'll have to do it several times.
I don't follow.
He's copied himself. Like siblings.
Well, how many? Are we talking small amount, like 500?
In our society, a small amount would be more like 1 or 2.
What's wrong with the mother?
Nothing. It's just quite taxing for us. I really don't know what else to tell you, Mr. Spicetail. Where did you get your information? Where did you hear about the Rainbow Warrior and all of this?
Well, that's what all the Kidoto's warband was talking about when they were... The Rainbow Warrior, he killed him, flaming sword standing over him. Quite impressive. Good story.
Well, it was impressive, but... well, as I already said, somewhat different than that.
Why did you kill Kidoto? Did he cut your tongue out?
No, he had the leg.
That was it?
Even possessing the leg and intending to use it is bad enough.
So now, this Novin chef possesses the leg?
And some of the other parts that go along with it.
Interesting.
I don't mean to try to dissuade you from your quest, but you need to understand that what you intend to do is extremely dangerous.
It is not my quest. It's Yuanjo's quest. I told him that if we see his quest through, he owes me his life.
Well, for the two of you to go after Novin to try to destroy the leg would be like you trying to destroy a nest of snakes without the benefit of Yuanjo.
That does sound rather dangerous. That's why I have you, Wanjo.
You don't take my meaning. I'm saying that with Yuanjo going after the leg is like you going after a nest of snakes without Yuanjo.
So you're saying I need more Yawanjos?
Yes.
Can I borrow the one that pretends to be Hormta?
Well, that's really between you and him, but I doubt it.
Who owns him?
I do.
I will pay you.
I need him.
I don't know how to get more Yawanjos then.
Yeah, neither do I.
Perhaps if we
We're like
find a
trying.
female Yawanjo.
We don't have that kind of time, Spice Tail.
True. Well, I shall bother you no further. I was just curious as to how you would slay Hormta.
Really like you would say anything.
Turns
Grievous
around.
bodily harm.
And kind of beckons Yuanjo back, who comes stumbling up, picks the mouse back up, puts him on his place, and continues to guide you all. So, throughout the rest of the first day of travel, is there anything the party is doing?
Can I just listen to see if I still hear any like barks, tracking, anything like that?
So as I'll kind of just give this a general perception. As you all kind of departed in the morning, you would have heard the barking and howling that was distinctly after you, kind of mixing into the general soundscape of Aether. At that point, it kind of is not discernible from the other beasts and caws and sounds and cries and noises that kind of drift from all around. So you can safely assume that whatever trail they were on has been lost, or they have turned around, or something of that sort. But now the general just ever-present presence of Aether's residents are kind of continually going out throughout the day. Anything else from you, heroic heroes?
I'd like to, whenever, are we making like camp, or are we, like, what, how are we doing that?
That's at the end of the day, yes?
Yeah. I guess I can just talk to Yawandro and Mouse after we settle down.
Okay. Everyone go ahead, give me just a round of perception. You want to roll for Jarek as well there, sir?
Yep.
God damn.
Mojo back.
Not mine.
You mean you're
Oof.
Yawandro?
Oh my god. Alright. Very average-ish. Okay. Alright. So the first day goes by, your first almost steady 8 hours of travel, actually making pretty noticeable progress for the first time now that you're not stumbling around in the pitch black. Eventually, Yuanjo would kind of, as the sun is setting, find a place that's rather secluded. There's a lot of like thickets and brush kind of grown together in this almost kind of like cove-like area where if anything was going to attack you, there's more or less just one direct line to you. And he begins dictating half through hand gestures and half through his rat companion, you know, where you might want to set up and put the horses and things of that nature, before you all eventually kind of create a loose campsite for the night.
right. I guess as we're all sitting around, not a campfire, but just the camp.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of ask. So, Mr. Mice Tail?
Abalin
something?
Spicetail.
Abalin Spicetail. Okay, Abalin. How did you two meet? Where do you come from? Where does he come from?
I was cheated out of my future. So I fed someone to Yuanjo, and here we are.
What do you mean cheated out of your future?
Almost like a drama kid in high school. You see him like put his hand up against Yuanjo's neck and like dip his head, kind of cupping his face in his hand, and he goes, "It is a tragic tale. Do you want to hear it?"
Yes, I'm listening.
I love food. Great food, good food, cheese. I had a nose, a talent, a skill, a passion, a desire for food. And I met this lovely man who all he did was touch food. And he had this room, a kitchen full of food. And with my expertise and my skills, we worked together. Hand in hand. Rat in hat. We were a team. We were a crew. And we made the most superb dishes Giles' Kingdom has ever seen. But Chef Roma did not want to share in the glory. He did not want to tell the world of Albion Spicetail. So I poisoned him. And then I cut his body into little pieces, and I fed him to Yuanjo. And that's how I met Yuanjo.
Oh. Okay.
Tragic, I know. But I'll survive.
And, did this man live down here?
No, he lived in Giles.
Oh, so you're from Giles.
I don't know where I'm from. But that's where I found my passion.
Do you have, like, family?
Kind of.
Or, like, other mice I don't know, rats, mice? I'm not sure the terminology that you prefer.
Rodent. Rat is
Okay.
our word.
Okay. Do you have any rodent? Like, any rodents that speak?
None so far.
So why do you speak?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping you had an answer.
Perhaps my love of food.
Could bring the voice out of you. What about him? Obviously, I know you met him by feeding your previous companion to him.
Yuanjo? He doesn't talk much.
Yeah, but he can't, like, I don't know, do whatever and tell a story.
It's not as tragic as mine. It's not that interesting.
I still want to know. I mean, how does something that big not have an interesting story?
He looks over at Yuanjo, a little bit of back and forth, signing, whispering in his ear, turns back to you. He lied to Kododo, Kododo didn't like it, Kododo cut out his tongue, Yuanjo swore vengeance. Here we are.
Okay. Did he go to Giles?
No,
Like, where did you meet him?
I brought the little body pieces down here and fed him to Yuanjo.
Seems like an incredibly specific task.
And I knew that the people down here would appreciate the good food.
Well, this is interesting. So, any other questions?
I mean, you had the questions.
I was asking, Valorant and Decker. Anyone? No, okay. Do you have questions for us?
Do you eat people?
Me?
Yes.
I don't think I do.
Have
Depends on
you
what you
tried people?
I mean, I guess it depends on what you consider people, but like for instance, I didn't think that mice talked or rodents talked. So, are rodents people now?
You ask too many questions.
You don't give me answers. But no, I've never tried like people like that guy or that guy or that guy.
Do you point at Jarek?
Yeah.
He would like point to him with you, be like, "That's a good people. Make great food.
You think that's a good people?
Look at the fat on it."
Yeah, but don't you I feel like that's too much. Like way too much.
Nice thin slivers on a wide pan. You have to keep the heat very mild. Let it simmer. Let the actual flavor of the fat boil out of it. You see Jarek kind of like shying away.
Oh, yeah, I mean that sounds like making bacon to me.
Bacon. Human bacon. People bacon.
Have you tried like I don't know, not people bacon?
I'm not a big meat eater myself, but have you tried cheese?
Now that I have tried before.
Perhaps we can try cheese on people.
Maybe we can try cheese on not people bacon and see how that is.
I like you.
I am intrigued by you. Ow, that hurt my brain. Anyways, if you have any other insightful questions that I can answer, feel free.
It sounds like you are after a Novan chef.
But I don't know. He cooks? What?
He cooks with many legs.
What did you guys talk about, Val?
It's all weird kitchen metaphors. I really don't want to get into it again.
Okay. I guess yes. He's not he's not actually a chef, right?
Then what does he cook with?
Doesn't actually cook. I mean, he might to like eat, but he doesn't like. It's not his profession.
Well,
his
after we
hobby.
deal with Yawanjo's dream of getting revenge, it is turn for my dream. I want to meet the best chef.
We could probably accomplish your dream before we accomplish Yawandro's. I'm gonna be honest.
We have established a pecking order, though, so...
I'm just letting you know. Because if he thinks that the best chef is the guy back where we come from, that's on your way to where you want to go for Yuanjo.
I'll have to meet this chef.
I
Yeah,
assure
here
you,
he
the
makes-
brain-
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I assure you, Chef Lougrain is going to be very intrigued by you.
Lougrain? He spits out this tiny little rat blob where Yuanja just comes up and wipes it off his shoulder. Lougrain, he came one time, made a kitchen a mess. A mess. I had to eat it all up. My belly was full for a week. Lougrain is not the best chef.
He's the best one I know, and perhaps he's gotten better since you met him.
Hands are much too big.
I heard he makes a pretty good bacon sandwich.
Perhaps if we had cheese, it would be better.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll see.
We will see. I'm really interested to see how this goes. At some point, Thor would turn to the rest of the group. Are we not worried about bringing a 9-foot alligator into the city of Giles?
The city? No, the
Well,
deal
yeah.
is the border of the kingdom.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, the corral, right? Kraylin.
Not Thor,
God,
not our problem.
I hate how close they are, dude. I hate it.
Thor. It's the border of Giles' kingdom. And that's it.
Yeah, but they're talking about coming with us further.
They can travel the same road for as long as they want. It's a free... Well... Never mind.
Okay, well, I'm still concerned. I'll just put that out there. I don't think these are bad people, so I don't want them to die, but
I have informed Mr. Spicetail that it's a very dangerous trek that they are on. But we're traveling to Giles' kingdom, and then happy trails.
Alright, as long as we are all on the same page that this is happening. Carry on, I guess.
It seems quite clear to me. I'm not sure what the confusion is.
I'm just scared for them is all. I don't know why they aren't scared for them.
I don't know what to tell you, Thor. Do you want to try to tell them to turn back? Be my guest.
Yeah, well, at least let them get to, let us lead them out of the woods before I try.
Right.
What is that supposed to mean? I guess that's the end of my stuff.
So as the night begins to settle in, is there anything specific the party would want to do?
Check for traps.
Damn, you got me.
You notice a twig that seems slightly off. Yeah, I guess I'd like to just... Well, one thing I'd like to do is to try to see if I can use Carl to... Oh, wait, does he have, a message of any kind?
No, not that you have, No.
Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna try to experiment with him to see if I can make him talk to other people.
Okay.
I don't really know how that would work, but, he talks to me telepathically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can I try to, tell him to communicate with somebody else telepathically?
You can try, but there's no way of doing that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do with him. Can I try to make him grow? Can I will him to grow like the other one does?
Again, if you try... No.
I don't know what to do with him. Can I try to speak through him and talk to friend and see if I get an answer?
What would you try and say?
Hello, friend. It's Thor, your friend. You gave me this thing, and you said it's a piece of me, and I've just been trying to figure out what it's supposed to do or what it can do. And I guess I'm just testing to see if I can talk to you. So I'm trying to, like, I don't know, experiment. Did this work? I don't know if you could reply to this or not.
All right.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, unless anyone has anything else. Okay. So, as you all settle in for the night, you guys still establishing watches or sleeping through? What's the process there?
I would like to at least be on a watch.
Okay.
Yeah, keeping a watch just makes sense.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't have to get into the depth of it, but just asking for thematic sake, I guess. As you all settle in with your new companions, I guess, ducking into this little small grove that has been kind of naturally crafted for you. Again, the kind of distant sounds of Aether drifting away, getting slightly closer, kind of echoing around the dense woodlands that you find yourself in. Thor, as you are, messing with Buffy, messing with Carl, everything's just kind of winding down. You do spot a small, distinctly red squirrel, white stripes kind of darting across the tree branches, like hopping from one to another kind of overhead before kind of disappearing. It's only the real notable, I guess, thing to find as the day eventually turns into night and you all find rest.
Are red and whites? I'm not familiar with the animals of the wild. Or do they is that an uncommon color?
It is more, it's not like a dark maroon or like an auburn, like a natural kind of red. It's like a prominent, more like a saturated red with like a strange white stripe on it.
Have I seen this thing before?
Give me a history check.
Oh, you got it, dude.
Okay. James, give me a history check real quick.
Is everybody asleep when I see this?
It'd be kind of winding down.
Nice.
Okay. So Thor and Valorant, describe to me where you're at in this campsite, what you're currently doing in the late light of the evening.
I would probably be situating Buffy in a comfortable place. Probably sitting in between the legs, the front legs and the back legs, just holding my sword and kind of looking out, just thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting, eating some trail rations after picking out Belgre's hooves, maybe.
Okay. So as you two are going about your various activities, Valorant, you would spot Thor spotting the squirrel, kind of following his gaze up there. And as you two kind of watch it dance from one branch to the other, a little bit more of its figure being revealed before it eventually darts away, both of you distinctly have this kind of vague thought of, I have seen that squirrel before. When did I see that squirrel before?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember seeing a red. The only thing I think I remember, I'm just gonna out of character this. Wasn't there some witch lady or something with and there was like a squirrel that followed us or something. If I wasn't there for that session, but I thought I remember this coming up before around that time. Am I wrong? I don't know.
I can't really answer.
Yeah. Upon seeing it and seeing that Valorant sees it and kind of, I guess, has like a moment of like, hey, we've seen that thing before. Can I try to follow it?
It would be difficult.
Well, yeah, but I got nothing else.
Okay.
Do
How
I
are you?
see the squirrel?
What was your perception? No, you do not see that squirrel. Are you like trying to follow it on the ground, trying to chase it through the trees? What is your goal?
So I'm gonna try to like, if I can like sneakily keep pace with it.
Give me a stealth check.
I'm gonna like try to stealth up on it, see what's going on.
Give me a acrobatics. Okay. So, Valorant, as you are kicking around the idea of where the hell you've seen this squirrel before, you see Thor kind of get up, almost in this like weird, primal, kind of like crawling wolf-like form, as he kind of like darts along the ground a little bit, and then gets closer to where you saw the squirrel disappear. And then Thor almost kind of like leaps through the brush in this deer-like gracefulness over the foliage into the brush, and then you just kind of see a little bit of like shifting tree branches and leaves and bushes as Thor kind of darts into the foliage like just outside the camp. And Thor, you're able to keep somewhat loose pace with it as it's like dancing from one branch to the other, stopping, kind of scratching an ear. Eventually, once it imagines it's out of sight from all of you, you see it jump from a branch, get like halfway through the, I guess, the arc to the next branch, and then it just poofs out of existence.
I just asked Jarek. Jarek, red squirrel, white stripe. Where have we seen that before?
Are you asking Jarek or Jarek?
You want me to roll a history check?
I don't know what you mean. I'm asking Jarek.
Go for it. Roll a history check then.
Jarek is Jarek.
I think we had some stew.
Why did Jarek turn to Danny DeVito?
Thanks. Thank you, Jarek.
I guess I'll return to the base after seeing it. Like, I'm gonna wait for a second, or like I guess a minute, just to see like, does it reappear?
No.
Okay. I don't hear anything like nearby that's like, I don't hear like a and it just like reappears.
That was a great
okay.
sound effect, by the way.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Anyways, you just record that, and so
Yeah,
you can just
I'll reuse it.
put it on a soundboard. Anyways, so I'll return back to the camp then.
Okay.
And then I'll look at, I guess, Valorant, who had a look of recognition, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that was?
I can't place it.
It was like red. It wasn't like normal.
It was distinctive.
I just followed it. I mean, I know you saw me like follow it, but just like it went, normal squirrel things, and then it jumped from a tree and it just went and it vanished. Yeah. Kind of like Decker, your owl whenever, those kobolds threw a spear at it.
Yes, if you
Not
saw
bring up
it
bad memories.
that distinctly, it probably is magical in nature, which means we might be observed by someone's familiar. Or it might be,
Damn.
yeah.
But they have to... Don't you have to be close, Decker, in order for it to do things?
Yes, it's a stretch to have someone very sneaky get close to you with a familiar.
You send up the owl.
Done.
Give me a perception with advantage. Not youth.
Well, I'm not going
Okay,
to.
okay. I just saw you look at your other screen, so.
Well, no, I was just clicking around, seeing
Gotcha.
if I have anything. Which I don't. I'm a great note taker.
So yeah, as the sun is just kind of a sliver above the horizon, the landscape kind of cast in the beginning of night, looking around with Aurora, kind of darting around, flying around the range where you can still keep her vision as your own. Nothing stands out to you as far as like someone watching you, a mysterious cloaked wizard kind of like wiggling his fingers in your direction.
Can I also ask, Alabin?
Mm-hmm.
That's his name.
Abilene.
Abilene. Okay, sorry. Should probably correct that. Hey, Abilene. I have a question for you. You're pretty. I mean, you're small, but you're pretty sneaky, right?
Yes.
I mean, you snuck up on that guy, and I hear he can turn into a rock.
Okay.
Can you just go around our camp? I guess in a wide range. I feel like we're being watched by something.
I mean, we are in the woods. Things are going to watch us.
Yeah, but something other than, something that's native to here. I just saw a magical squirrel poof out of existence. Did you see that squirrel?
No.
Oh, well. There's a super bright red squirrel, and I've recognized it before, but I don't know where I recognize it from. I'm gonna have to think about that. But then it just kind of poofed.
I'll take a look.
Okay, thank you. I'll buy you some cheese when I find some.
How much cheese?
How much cheese do you want?
All?
I don't know how much all... okay, I'll buy you cheese. I'll buy you cheese. As much as they can provide me.
I'm really starting to like you.
That's the goal.
Okay.
Okay.
And he would
And
dart off into the brushes.
Yeah, I'll just wait to see if he says anything. And then I guess in that time, I'll just try to think about where I've seen a red squirrel before.
You want to give me another history check since you're sitting here banging on
Absolutely.
about it? Okay.
I'm so ready.
Sweet.
Yep.
Man. Squirrel?
Yeah.
I got an idea. I'm going to kick some dirt in Jerk's face and then get the crown of memories from him. I assume he's
I
not
have
carrying
it,
it.
actually.
Thor has it, yeah.
Oh, then I kick some dirt in Jerk's face and then walk over to Thor and say, try. One of us could try the crown.
Yeah, but I thought it looked back on specific instances in time.
Probably try to focus on the last time that you saw the red squirrel. And
I
see
guess
what
we
happened.
haven't tried focusing on something.
What?
We haven't tried focusing on a specific thing, we usually, I guess, okay. I'll just
Okay.
I'll take out the crown.
Okay.
Are you sure you want me to do this?
Either of us. I don't have a preference. Do you want me
Okay.
to do it?
No, it's okay. I got it.
Okay. Crown of Memories is on. Adjust to the size of your head. You feel that white creeping vision come over before you are cast into a white void. You're thinking about Red Squirrel?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to focus on like the last time. Well, not the last time, but the time before
Yeah.
last that I saw a red squirrel.
With a white stripe.
Yes.
Also, not canon. I didn't kick her in Jarek's face.
Oh, no, that's canon. That's staying.
No, it's like you don't have what I want. Never mind.
Okay, Thor, give me a wisdom save and then a wisdom check.
They both have the same modifier, so
Okay. Okay. Usually when you use the Crown of Memories, like a full scene begins to kind of build around you, various objects in the scene kind of coming into place, coming into focus, until like the white tendrils kind of creep away from your village, your vision, and you are displayed what you are looking for. This time, as instead of focusing on a scene or a memory or a place, you focus specifically on a thing. You see this strange, swirling, warping, shifting image, the dwarven highways coming across, then the throne room in Kraylin, the fields of Giles, the Freesight City, all these various locations kind of wiping across your vision as your mind flickers through these various stages you've been through, searching for this singular, specific moment.
Oh, right. I have a +5 to my wisdom save.
Okay, so that would be 12? Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
No, you're good. Nothing solidifies, but you distinctly notice that none of these scenes give you any sort of scent or sound. They're all just these visual flashes that go across. The only scene that actually does provide you this quick whiff of smell, this distinct whiff of smell of bile and earth, you realize as the dwarven highways before it flickers past and your mind's pulled from the void.
So the dwarven highways were the thing that I smelled, and
It was the most standout scene that was shown to you.
I'll just kind of like grab the ground. Okay, that was weird. So a lot of things like places started rushing by. I don't know if you've used the crown or not as of yet.
I have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so instead of it being like a place, it was like a bunch of places going past me. And then I like smelled the dwarven highways and vomit or something? Bile? I don't know. So I guess what the crown was trying to tell me was it's from the dwarven highways?
I think what the crown is telling you is that we've seen this squirrel in many places. And the last time was the Dwarven Highway.
There's a squirrel. Oh, what if it's friend? But how can friend manifest himself? Well, I don't know.
We're being spied on, and we've been spied on for a long time.
But is it by who we think it would be, or somebody else?
I don't know.
Well, I guess I can take a day and think back on it, or you can think on it tomorrow. I wonder where the first place we saw it was.
What was the first place that flew past you in the vision?
God.
Give me a history check.
What? It just happened. It makes sense though.
The very first scene that was laid out to you was a camp beside a road.
Camp beside a road. Well, that's specific. Thanks, Crown.
It is a road you're familiar with.
That's even less helpful. I'm a well-traveled man. It was a camp on the side of the road that I remember, but I don't know what road it is. It's a road that I've traveled a lot. So it makes me think it was somewhere, between Corel and Kralin.
Were we together? The four of us? Well, Rolly and the three of us?
Did it have like people, or was it just like a?
Yeah, I'm debating that one.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we'll go with the natural 20 roll, giving you a little bit more leeway. You would have seen Rolly, Jarek, you, and Valoran.
Yeah, there were, I guess all four of us, but, not Decker.
Rolly was looking down at a necklace.
Rolly had a necklace in his hands he was looking at.
Was it when we met the wrinkled seer?
See, that's what I was saying. The lady. I don't remember much about her because I left and there was some wrinkly woman that was like saying things to you guys, and then I think she left. I don't really remember. I kind of blacked out for that one.
I know, Thor. I forgive you.
I don't. What did that lady say to you guys?
She told their fortunes in exchange for something of value. I declined to do it.
Do you remember her name?
I was just trying to think of it, Thor.
Oh.
Poor Rob.
I know. What?
Poor Rob.
Werdello.
Decker. Do you remember her name? Just kidding. What?
Werdello the Wrinkled.
Huh. Well, that doesn't really help me at all because now we just know her name, but...
It gives you a specific memory to think back on. And we can check to see if the squirrel was there.
It gives you a specific memory to look back on.
Fine.
Hey, I wasn't there.
At any rate, if it's been watching us for this long, there's no point in moving camp tonight just to try to avoid it.
Yeah, I guess the only question is why? Why?
Probably to kill us.
Probably. Most things in this world want that. Alright, well, I guess I'll keep our first watch and see if it comes back.
Very good, Thor.
What watch do you want? Do you want to watch? I don't know. I can wake up Mouse Man. Oh wait, is he back?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll take the second watch.
Okay. And then I don't know, maybe we can make JD take the third one. He slept all last night, so he should be fine.
Agreed.
All right. I will wait for the mouse man's return.
Okay. Probably be about 5 or 10 minutes later before he returns, and he has a large berry in one of his hands, or in his hands.
Oh, hey, what did you see anyone? Anything?
I did not see any squirrel, but I found food.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you
Well,
want to bite?
How many? Is it just one berry?
It's just one berry.
Can you like break off a piece for me? I don't want to eat the whole thing.
Takes out his little sewing needle and begins like jabbing a bunch of perforated holes along one side of it, and then kind of tears about a corner of it off.
Right, that will.
It's like a
Yeah.
speck.
It's like holding an atom. And I guess I'll eat it. Do I even taste anything?
Probably not.
Okay.
Good, yes.
It is actually pretty good. Where did you find this?
On a bush.
This thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I don't know why I asked that question. Well, I'm glad there's nobody nearby that you saw. That was weird though. Let me know if you see the red squirrel. Like it's really red and it has a white stripe down the middle.
Can we eat it?
I guess you can try. I don't know.
I'll keep an eye out.
Okay. Thanks. I appreciate it. And I will go back to my meditative state where I contemplate murdering or killing, murdering, depends on your point of view.
Dispatching.
Yeah. And I'll just sit there.
Is there anything that all of you were doing during this night, during your watch, things of that nature?
I'm sleeping through the whole thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna attempt to get a tingle again.
Go ahead, give me a wisdom check real quick then.
Okay.
But if all of you are just waking up the next day and then foraging forth, I'm going to have everybody give me 3 perception checks and then give me the average of those. Nice.
Jesus.
Wow. Holy crap.
Okay, hold on.
Yep, go for it, math boy.
52 divided by 3.
Oof.
7.
Wow,
17.
that's actually kind of impressive. Oh.
Oh wow! I think I won. No, did I win? Yeah, I won. I beat James at least.
And then you still gotta do it for Jarek as well.
Jarek, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Here we go.
What was your average score?
17.3.
Okay. James, you got yours?
5.3.
Oh, oof.
Let me see here.
I love the 6, 7, 8. That's pretty fantastic.
So mine is 7 for mine, and for Jarek is 9.666666.
Okay. All right. So we're going to be going through a fair amount of travel, multiple days, nights, all that fun stuff. Do a little bit of hand waving here. Would there be anything you guys do in the next week? Like a legitimate week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess we'll try the crown a couple more times.
At first, yeah.
So what would be the attempt with that?
Well, I mean, James has it at least the first time, or I guess Valorant has it the first time.
I'll think back to the encounter with Bordillo and see if the squirrel was there.
Okay. Guess give me perception then, sir. Okay. Going back to that scene, you know, I'll have to sit there and describe it in depth because you roughly know the general layout of it. This is after where Dalo has come and dispensed her wisdom and shuffled off. As Jarek is blasting Rolly, and Rolly is looking down at his necklace and all the merriment of the party is going on, off to the side, up high in the trees, you do see a red squirrel with a white distinct stripe just sitting there kind of watching you all as Mordelo kind of shuffles away.
Then I share with Thor and Jarek that I don't know anything else, but I can confirm that the squirrel was there.
Okay. What are the colorations of friend? Like, is he just straight red?
I think he was red with, I'd have to go back and double check to be absolutely certain, but I think there were some, I think it was black is the other color he had. He had purple robes on, purple eyes. Yeah, I think he had black markings on him.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know what to do with that information. Like, cool. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, we still don't know anything, but
yeah,
we're being followed by
being watched by something or someone.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I try to think of like, did Carl look at the squirrel? Like, did Carl even notice it? Because I was gonna say I had Carl standing on my sword as I was meditating with it.
Mm-hmm. I imagine either Carl could have seen it or Carl can see what you see, so we could have just seen it through you.
Yeah. I was just wondering if like he had any reaction to it.
It would just be kind of like an echo of your own.
Yeah.
Thoughts. Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to see if like he would recognize. He'd be like, "Dad." But no. Okay. Cool.
Or are there any non-scroll related activities that the party is doing? Any conversations, debriefing, anything of that nature?
Yeah, I guess we would probably inform Decker of what we saw.
Yeah, I would have probably been curious by this point.
Yeah, also probably explain to him what the crown is and does. Because
Decker, give me a history check.
So good at these today.
I know, you guys are rocking these history checks, man. Oh, God. Jesus.
Instead of asking for a history check, just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know anything about it, so next.
Yeah.
Okay, continue. I'll just cry in the corner.
I just kind of tell him, like, we picked this up in a cave, right? Wasn't it in a cave, JD? And it's apparently this like super old crown that is supposed to be owned by like kings and stuff.
Crowns oftentimes are.
Yeah, but so this one holds memories.
History check, please.
Feel the
Yeah, take
compelled
the
to
Thor.
think about this.
I'm alley-ooping you. The alley-oop. Oh, shit.
my god.
Just move on. It's fine.
Okay.
And so, we contemplated giving it to our king, because apparently like kings use it to look back on the past and like to make decisions about the future. I guess I don't know what they do, but we've just kind of been using it to look back on events that we've had to try to help us piece together some things about like Novin and the apparently unstoppable events that are occurring.
Pause you real quick there, Thor. At this point, Decker, with enough being explained to you basically outright, you would be very familiar with the King of Giles' kingdom and the Crown of Memories that he has, and growing up in Kraylin, being around that kind of nobility and the stories and whatnot, you would know that the original Crown of Memories had been lost at some point, and this basically lines up with every story, rumor, song, poem, etc.
Do you realize the importance of that artifact that you carry?
Yeah, I actually do.
No, I mean its historical significance.
Yeah, I thought I just told you it was because it was owned by a lot of other kings.
But I mean well, yeah, it's probably worth quite a bit of money to.
Well,
Or
I mean,
more than just money. I mean, you could trade quite a bit for that thing.
Yeah, I know. I think we're thinking about doing that at some point, but it is actually useful to us right now.
Yes, I see that. It's solved quite a few problems.
Okay, well, listen, we may not use it to the most effective way a lot of the time. We should probably use it every day, but we don't.
I can tell you, I would have given quite a bit myself to be able to use that on some of my investigations. That's very handy. Why have you not used this more often?
Well, I mean, it's JD's fault. He carries it. He never brings it up.
I mean, in all honesty, you might consult this every night before going to bed, or whatever your routine is. It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I thought we were gonna do when we first got it, and then JD just tucked it away like a old.
Would you mind if I tried?
I'm assuming it's another day, other than the time that Valorant did it.
Everybody can use it once. It's not like it can only be used once a day. Yeah.
Oh, so everybody can use it once a day.
Yeah, it's even more broken than you thought.
Shit, I thought it was once a day.
No.
My bad. Then I would have made Valorant try it the first time.
So
whatever.
How again does this work?
Okay, so I have no idea, but let me tell you what I know. You put it on. It's probably going to be a bit bigger because it was on Valorant's head, and he's super smart, so he's got a big head.
Most have large heads.
Yeah. Well, so you put it on, and it'll shrink to your head. Don't worry, it's not going to suffocate it. And then you just kind of close your eyes and you think about a moment in time, like a specific event. Your first kiss, your first love, the first time you went to the beach. And then you think about these things, and then it pulls you into that moment, and you can look at it from a freeze frame, like everybody's just kind of paused. Like you could literally watch yourself kill somebody, if you wanted to.
So gross as that for the first time.
I think it's pretty cool.
I'd like to. I mean, is this something I can do right now, or?
Yeah.
All right.
Pick a moment, any moment.
Yeah. No.
Is this your moment?
Yes. I'll think back to the time that I was playing hide and go seek as little kids with my twin sister Danica, and I thought I was really hidden well, but she found me. I want to know how she did it.
Give me a stealth check, a retroactive stealth check, without advantage.
Yeah, here comes the 20.
How old are you for this memory, sir? Oh, damn.
I would have been 9.
Okay.
And I thought I was hidden really well, and she caught me.
You have been dragged on another, basically, promotional parade with your father. It was a new factory for Night Owl Brew had been established in a nearby town, and there was a lot of fanfare. There was almost kind of like a circus fair type event going on. And you and your sister being bored on these trips the majority of the time, as you've been dragged on quite a few of them, you decided that hiding behind one of the tents that had been set up would have been perfect. You run around and there's all this commotion going on around you. There's no possible way that she could find you, except for the fact that the footpath that you guys are all on at this point is really muddy. Lots of foot traffic and the crowd going over it. You know, rain from a couple of days ago making the earth nice and wet. So distinctly leading around this tent are these floppy, wet, prominent, muddy footprints leading to this small flap with these 2 muddy shoes kind of poking out from beneath the bottom of the fabric. And that's the scene that you find.
I gave myself away.
What?
She never told me.
What did you look
I
at?
don't think she even remembers it.
Who is she? What? Who?
My sister. We always played hide and seek with each other, and she caught me one day, and I swore I was hidden well, and she came right to me. Well, that explains it. I wonder how many investigations I would have solved so much easier with this. On second thought, don't give this thing away.
Well, I mean, I think at some point we were going to, but not.
No. It's been lost for a long time. It can stay lost to us.
Why the sudden change in?
It's one
So
thing
you have
to
a
know.
sister, what?
It's one thing to know something, Thorasius. It's quite another thing entirely to know it.
Oh, okay. I think you just said the same thing twice. Wait. So what? Okay. So you just used it to solve a mystery about your sister doing. Okay, that seems productive.
It's proof of concept, Thorasius. I had nothing better to do, so I chose a memory that was fun, but something that I'd been wondering for years how she managed to catch me, and now I know.
It's true. Now the mystery can be solved.
May I?
Of course.
Valoran holds his hand out for it.
I hand it over, yeah.
Puff, puff, pass, baby.
James has been thinking about this for like a minute now. I'm terrified of what he's going to ask me.
Let's go.
Something you said, Thor. You may be a genius.
Oh, I mean, I know.
Oh no, what are you going to ask, sir?
So Valoran is trying to remember how far back does the history of the crown go, as far as he knows?
To as much as you understand how it works, you can use it to look back into your bloodline as long as that person also wore the crown during that memory. But you can look back through your direct memories, even if you didn't have the crown on at that point. So if your father never wore the crown, there'd be no lineage to go back through. But since the King of Giles, it's like an ancestral to pass the crown down from father to son, they can look back through all of their father's moments as like a big library.
Okay. Never mind. I'm gonna have to keep thinking.
You terrified me.
So Valorant takes it and he thinks for a moment and then he says, "No, I'm not ready."
Okay, well, I actually have something I need to puff pass it back here. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on, and I have something that I wanna look at.
Okay, hit me with it, sir.
All right, we're going throwback to the very beginning.
Oh no.
The murder of the mayor.
Okay.
So, I want to see in that, like, I guess in that fight or like after the fight, if I can see anybody else who saw like us doing, I guess, what we did. If that makes sense.
This would be the moment that you got back to the body?
I suppose so, yeah, because I wasn't there for the original.
Mm-hmm. Give me a perception.
Okay.
Looking around, as far as you can tell, it is Jarek, you, Rolly, Calliope, and Hayes. It was Hayes there?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was.
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay. I kind of want Jarek to do the same thing.
Jarek would refuse.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd want to know. Because
Nope,
wouldn't he
that
want to
didn't
know
happen. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but like, wouldn't he want to know who discovered that he killed them?
He's on Dog's shit list. He's
Oh,
yeah,
true.
he's also refusing to use it because of that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Frick. Because if he can... God, if he could just look around when he's killing the mayor.
What, Jarek being useful?
Damn, he's gonna watch this and...
That's why. Jarek, Seth, when you get this is what you get. See you next Sunday, jerk.
We love you, baby. Come back.
Okay, well, I guess after that, I'll just take it off and be like, I don't know how did she know?
Is that a question? Like a genuine question that Thor has?
How did she know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense how she knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, haven't other people alluded to it too? Besides, I feel like, didn't Novin? Did he? I mean, I don't remember. Like, I think he might have.
Novin can do some funky shit if you're paying attention.
Oh yeah. Okay. So as far as I know, I guess nobody knows that wouldn't make sense for them to know.
Yes.
Like, from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it. All right. I mean, that does it for me as far as the crown goes. I guess that covers one of our days of crownliness.
Crownliness.
I mean, honestly, like, I imagine we would do this every day.
We want to do quick group things, group crown sessions.
Let's think tank. What do we want to look at?
This is the time that I will give you guys the benefit of the doubt.
I'd like to look at the fight, like in And then after we killed, not Hormtar.
Kododo.
Kadoto.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just messing with you. But before Nobin showed up, because he kind of just popped out of nowhere, I'd like to see where he came from.
So the limitation of the crown only allows you to, like, see the scene as far as you kind of passively perceived it. So you would have just seen him come out of that same, like, dark cave or mine shaft entrance. And then he clears his throat, addresses you guys, and the rest is history. He just seems to have walked up behind you at that point. Anything else?
I mean, I guess I have one, but it doesn't really pertain to this.
You could rapid fire it. Hit me with it.
The cave that I went into where my parents created me. I guess I'd like to invest. Yeah, and I guess I'd like to investigate that a little bit.
Okay. We can cover this a bit more in depth outside of the session, but Hogan, give me an investigation check for that.
You got it, dude.
All right, I'll write that down.
All right, cool. That's one of them. Trying to think of any other moments. Maybe try and Crown of Memories our encounter with Friend.
Okay.
And with that, personally, I just like I guess I can like perceive the room, just kind of like see what's in there, if there's anything that says anything weird. But also I wanna see if he sees me. If that makes sense.
If he like can see the spectral form of you rewatching the scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Okay. Nice.
There isn't anything stand out in the room that you notice. There's a lot of things written that are in a completely different language, which would make getting anything out of them impossible. Whatever scene you picked, it would not appear that Friend can extra see you.
Okay. It's really all I can think of right now. Unless there's any other moments you guys can think of.
I've got one. No expectations of it going anywhere, but
That's my favorite.
similar to when we were trying to think about the times that we saw the squirrel. I want to put on the crown and think about the last conversation that I had with my father, in which he told me to open my eyes.
Ooh, that has to be out of the session. Yeah, okay. I like that.
To be continued.
Yep.
And knowing everything that we know now, I'd like to take a look at our very first battle together. I'd like to look at, see if there's anywhere that I could see the influence that maybe Hypatia said she had.
Give me perception real quick. Damn, that's a fucking banger. That's gonna be so much fun.
I'll be waiting literally every minute after we finish tonight. So.
Also just nice.
So the from the scene that you can re-witness and using the knowledge that you know now, the servant disguise that you'd seen her come into the room with when you initially met her before you knew who she was, using that knowledge retroactively, you spot her not on the podium itself, but a fair distance back with a small grouping of what appear to be other house couture servants and whatnot that are, carrying things and organizing things that are, I don't know, a fair distance from the podium, but you can distinctly see the elven face of Hypatia basically just staring at the podium as everything is going down.
She wasn't lying about that.
Anything else you guys want to get on the books?
Shit, I did have something, but then I lost it.
Give you a history check.
You gonna tell me what I was thinking of? Yeah, no, I don't. I won't remember it, and if I do, I'll let you know. But
well, then as our glorious heroes continue to trudge their way back up towards the border, we'll bring this session to a close.